Yes, welcome everybody to the Blue Cinema. And I'm here. This is a very special episode, everybody. And I'm here with DL and Perp. How y'all
Hello.
guys doing? How you doing, DL?
Hi,
Oh,
Oh my lord. Did he have to jump to his
I'm doing
microphone to
good.
say
I'm
that?
excited. Excited.
yep, awesome, awesome, awesome. And if you can't tell by the creative intro of the countdown and the title, we're gonna be doing something that a tier list based on a specific director that a certain raptor loves to pine over. I bet you have a little shrine bowing down the poster saying Michael Bay is king. We're gonna look to ain't that
God
right?
King Emperor.
God King Emperor. Yep, this is a Michael Bay tier list. Oh boy,
All right.
this is going to be a very interesting conversation,
Now how do
guys.
you want to do
It's
it? Do
gonna
you
be
want
fun.
the little movie perp Michael Bay fanboy, or do you want me to be as objective as possible? Because while
I
I do
mean,
enjoy the movies, I can be very objective.
I mean, it's either or, dude. You
All
can
right,
do
we'll
both.
see.
I don't care. I mean,
Depends on the movie. Let's see.
it depends on the
You know how you
depends
feel.
on the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's First of all, I'm gonna put some music in the background. There we go. It's not too loud. This is
Oh,
kind of.
just makes me want to talk and beat and look at my feet.
Don't start lyricing right now.
Bars.
Sorry,
Bars.
man. I got bars, man. I got
Bars.
bars. They spill out.
All right, let's see what the chat's going. What's up, Taladia? Let's go.
Hello, Taladia.
Yeah, what's up,
Hello.
George? Man,
Hello,
what's up,
George.
George? Explosion time.
Yes.
What's up, Isaac?
Hi, Isaac, the biggest movie fan.
Well, here we go. Michael Bay tier list. I'm doing all right. It's kind of a very dull kind of day, but kind of excited to do this little tier list.
I've been looking forward to this all day, Blue Jay, and I'm not gonna lie.
Did you lose sleep over it? Were you like,
It's like, what if they don't like Armageddon? What do I do? What do I say? Yeah,
It's like,
a little bit.
what am I gonna do with myself?
oh my gosh, like, is this gonna be like the last stream where everybody's just making fun of the Snyder, bro? Like, come on, nah.
No, bro, that stream was a lot of fun to watch. Go check out my Rebel Moon Part 2, the Scargiver stream.
Yeah. Let's yeah.
Very
we'll check that
controversial
out.
stream.
Very controversial, apparently.
Yeah, you can share the stream out to the come on, spread the word out. Spread the word out. I mean, we gotta get this going. So I'm taking over the
Make
MME.
sure to Talati, you write this is serious, okay? When you
this is the stream of the century.
yeah,
according to
this is
Perp.
very serious.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Getting real
what
now.
Oh yeah, this is about to get really real. Hopefully now. Hopefully we don't lose our mind over it.
Yeah.
So
Time for Bayhem.
oh, time for Bam. All right. So without further ado, and usually with these tier lists, you know what, this format right here, this like floating three floating boxes in front of a background, it's kind of a boring look. So I want to switch it up a little bit. So let's go to here. There we go. Much
Ooh.
better.
That's
This-
sexy.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is how I like it now.
Great
Custom-
presentation.
You know, I'm all about that presentation, you know. So let's bring up the tier list and go to tier maker and boom. Oh shit, hold on. Boom.
There we go.
There we go. So here we have the 15 movies that Michael Bay has directed from 1995 to 2022 so far. You know, we don't know yet. We don't know if he has another one coming out, but right now we have 15, which is actually a pretty decent lineup of films for this tier list. It's not overly too long, like too much. Like Steven Spielberg. How many?
I think he has 17.
Who, Spielberg?
No, there's seven. Michael Bay, I think he has 17 movies.
I'm actually
Because there's
I'm
three different movies in The Last Night.
That's very true.
Wow.
That's very true.
True. Well, we'll see. So yeah, we have 15 of the movies, and I'm kind of curious to see. Well, we kind of know what I've been with DL for a while, and I know how he feels about a certain franchise.
Yes, I'm sure you guys know what he's referring to. I have reviewed all of those films on my channel. So if you want to hear a more in-depth analysis of the films, you can check out my channel. But I'm going to try my best to give truncated thoughts on these films.
More truncated, more concise, more
Yes.
minuscule summary of a film.
Yes.
Without well, depending how I act.
Right.
Depending on how me and Perp act, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
So
see.
yeah, we'll see. Let me zoom. Let me get this is a little bit of a zoom.
You made it easy with those categories.
All right. Yep.
Oh yeah, let's see. Oh yeah,
Let's
it's
fucking
typical.
go.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Some good ass shit. Just rent the damn thing. Some old bullshit. Wipe my ass quality. Never seen. So there we go.
Yep. And you'll
Never
be surprised.
seen.
Well, you'll be surprised that like I have not seen every single one of them.
What?
I mean, I'm human.
Yeah, you are.
I'm human. Like, look, I haven't seen all of them, but Michael Bay is a director that I like. You know, I'm an action junkie, so if I want action, I go to him most of the time, depending on what movie or what mood I am. If I'm on a Transformers mood, if I'm on a Bad Boys mood, or probably some of his early works. But I've seen pretty much most of his films, not all of it, but most of it.
So Perp, you and I have seen all of them.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm kind of curious about what you guys have to say about some of these movies. So, but without further ado, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. And it was so funny.
Do you know that Black Eyed Peas song? Let's get it started.
Oh, I didn't hear.
That's the radio edit. Look up the original lyrics.
Oh god. Okay. I'm curious now because I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Explicit version.
This is it's very appropriate for this tier list. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now to kickstart this off, let's start with the movie that started it all, and pretty much
Yes.
what I'm pretty sure we all like. We should.
Now, as a Michael Bay connoisseur, can I give interesting little facts like Bad Boys was his debut, but he was actually second in line to do Speed. It was between him and Jean Debon to do Speed, and it went to Jean. He was his debut was originally probably gonna be Speed if it wasn't for Jean Debon taking it from right under him.
That feels
really?
like a movie he would direct too.
Yeah, Speed. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, would have been
Yeah.
perfect for him.
Like Michael Bay directing Keanu Reeves, that would be pretty sick.
With a guy that likes to blow stuff
I
up.
can see like the type of style he puts in to Speed. I can totally see that. So let's start with the movie that hopefully we all like, Bad Boys. Man, I see. Growing up, I love Bad Boys. Like growing up, but I watched 2 first, but I watched 2 like the first time, like when it comes to the series. But I did go back to watch Bad Boys. Still a funny ass movie, because really, you don't really see, if you really do think about it, if you're like into Michael Bay, you don't feel like you've noticed his style up until his next couple of films. This is more like a Martin Lawrence, Will Smith comedy. And it's fucking funny. Like there's a lot of the Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I mean, I don't need to say much. I mean, they got good chemistry. I mean, am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, like probably the best, like one of the best comedic duos I've seen on film. Like even even though like there's the weird writing that Michael Bay has, they take the weird writing and they just run with it. They make it funny anyway. So
Two bitches in the sea.
yeah, yeah.
I think it's actually, believe it or not, I think Bad Boys is Martin Lawrence's movie. He gave a phenomenal performance that I don't think he's ever been able to do again in a movie. Like his character, like he was like generally like acting. Like I loved it. I don't know where that Martin Lawrence went, but I love his performance in Bad Boys.
He became a Christian.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened? Really? No.
Yeah, that's why he's not as dirty as he used to be. But
yeah, because he was acting so good. Like he was he was great, and like you guys said, the chemistry was great. The music was phenomenal. The style was really good. I think it was generally exciting because Michael Bay wasn't able to do all the explosions and chases he wants. He was very limited, so it went on to be like a great comedy buddy chemistry, kind of like a sitcom plot where it's like they have to exchange identities. And then Michael Bay absolutely brought it in the third act with like the chases, a couple great shootouts and stuff, and the final hangar action set piece was great. There were some like legitimately good shots.
You
like
got your boarding pass.
Yeah. Like, and then that when you see that guy flying out of that plane after the explosion, like a body on fire, and then hit like a freaking shelf or something, it's like, whoa! You normally don't see that in action movies. I think that's what I think a lot of people even thought of Michael Bay more as a comedy director before like he was known for his explosions. It wasn't until like freaking Armageddon. It's like, all right, what's this comedy guy doing with all these explosions? like because he got into the business doing music videos, but then he also did the commercial, the Got Milk commercial. It was like an infamous commercial in the 90s, which was a comedy sketch. And his whole philosophy was that a lot of directors in comedy weren't very visual, so he decided to be as visual as possible. And then he just fell in love with the explosion.
That explosion was the entry point into what we know for him today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you, I saw the second film before I saw the first one. I think this is a good movie. I did enjoy this. Like I said, the chemistry with Will and Martin is great. The only thing I didn't really care for in this movie is the changing of identities, and then the liar reveal story. I really didn't care for that at all. Like, I feel like that was boggling down the movie because I felt it was unnecessary. But other than that, like, what was the chick's name in the movie? I forgot the chick's name.
Let me look at it. I'm gonna have it right here.
I don't know names.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Julie.
Yeah. I thought
Julie. Yeah.
I thought she was all right.
Yeah, she was good, man. Dude, I loved it. I love when Martin Lawrence had to stay in Will Smith's apartment. They had to clean up all the dog crap. It was like liquid shit. It's like, man, that movie's hilarious.
Oh, the part when they were when Martin Lawrence was eating like was it bologna and she was talking about like how it came from, like his reaction, and the music goes boom.
Yeah. How about the pickle? Can I eat the pickle? Yeah. Phenomenally fun. I'd say Michael Bay's debut is a let's fucking go. It was great. It like changed the game. Like it was awesome. It was visual. It was hilarious. It brought in a, along with David Fincher, it brought in these music video directors were like doing crazy stuff with the film, even though their stories aren't like phenomenally great or quote unquote original. They're like they're visuals. Their visuals and their style and attitude is what the 90s was all about.
Oh yeah, this feels very much like 90s extreme.
Yeah, attitude. Yeah,
attitude. Yeah. I would personally give it some good ass shit. I did not love the film, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time. I think the films after this, like, build on top of what they set up in this. So.
Okay, so I would do, because here's how this works. So since the three of us are here, and it's not just two, we can actually do like a little bit of a like a 2 out of 3 type stuff, like a score. So if someone gets a let's fucking go, but if some good ass shit overtakes it, there'll probably be like a some good ass shit, but they'll probably take that rank, that category. But
Okay, so here's the question though, because this is most likely going to happen. What if one of us says let's fucking go, but then one of us says just rent the damn thing, and then another person says wipe my ass? Like what? How do you equate that?
yeah, that's
That's
we'll
a
probably
low. That's
it's
a low
probably
sum.
gonna be somewhere in the middle. That's kind of see,
There's no middle there.
I can't do the math sometimes, so like
We'll have to feel
probably,
it out.
yeah,
Let's fill it out.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna wing
would-
it.
Yeah.
Fuck it,
Well,
like,
also your opinion could sway things too, Blue Jay. Like, what do you give Bad Boys?
see, I would give Bad Boys. I'm gonna give it a very high, some good ass shit.
All right, then it's some good ass shit. Put it in there.
Shit.
Yep, there we go. Some good ass shit. Yeah, I love the movie.
Mhm.
Like you said, I don't really care for like the lie reveal or the identity switch. I feel like pretty much forgot that plot point because the other two movies that we have. But you're mostly there for like the chemistry and the jokes.
Mhm.
That's
And,
kind of
and the third act is really cool.
Music was pretty good too for the 90s.
Yeah.
right.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Yeah, so Bad Boys, let's some good ass shit. And let's go to the movie that pretty much stapled Michael Bay in terms of his style. The
Mhm.
Rock. This is a
I
Pretty-
disagree with you. I think Michael Bay was still doing a Tony Scott. This felt like Jerry Bruckheimer felt like he was starting over from the 80s, doing it with a 90s attitude now with Bad Boys and The Rock, and then like what he did with Simon West and Con Air. I think the full-on Michael Bay that we know and love today fully fleshed out in Armageddon. But that's my opinion.
okay.
I honestly
Yeah.
think it. Well, I'll let you know when I. Think,
This is like remnants of Tony Scott to me. Like this is like he's clearly inspired by Tony Scott. You know, he still has the music video attitude stuff, but it had a very similar like Jerry Bruckheimer's doing this with other directors as well in terms of the look and feel of it. Yeah.
Because I feel like when it comes to because Bad Boys is a comedy, The Rock is a full-blown action film.
That's true.
And then because with this movie is pretty much what made Bay, honestly, in terms of you see pieces of it where you see like the military, the part, even the part that's like pretty much Bay is the part when they get caught and it's Ed Harris and the other guy were just yelling like stand down, no, no, no. Like people, like men's just screaming out the wall.
I want you to give that order. I will not give that order. I'm not going to repeat it. I will not give that order.
I think it's really cool and telling of Michael Bay's love of the military in this movie, where when you give Michael Bay a villainous military member, he will treat it with nuance and respect, and it made for a very fascinating character with Ed Harris specifically, to the point where I will say he's probably Michael Bay's best villain. And it's probably because he is of military and what he was doing was respectful, and like, you know, and Michael Bay saw that and is like gave that character more nuance, you know, to go with, and to the point where it's like he's even having a standoff with his own guys in the final scene. And I think it's that love for the military that Michael Bay was able to do that in The Rock, and that's another of the highlights on top of like there's so many highlights of this in The Rock of Michael Bay's best work. It's Michael Bay's most craziest character that works in Nicolas Cage because he has Nicolas Cage to do that character.
His
right?
name is his
Stanley-
last name is Goodspeed.
Yeah, Stanley Goodspeed, right?
Yes.
Is it Stanley? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. his
Nicolas Cage
Stanley
had like the
Goodspeed.
best name in the 90s, bro. Okay.
Best name of the night.
He did, dude. He had like in 2002, I guess. It was Memphis Reigns in Gone in 60 Seconds, Cameron Poe in Con Air, Castor Troy in Face Off, Stanley Goodspeed in The Rock. What a run, bro! What a run of names.
Yeah.
Nick
Very.
Cage.
Yeah. Very creative.
Yeah,
very
and then
ridiculous
so Nick Cage was being Nick Cage craziness. A lot of it felt like some of his scenes were improv, which Michael Bay seems to be known for. Right? He lets his actors do improv. That's why we get funny scenes with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. That's why we get weirdo Nick Cage doing weirdo shit, but it looks awesome when the backdrop is this expensive action movie, right? Nick Cage is like loves the Beatles, talking about the Beatles. After he gets blown out, he has this crazy guitar scene, and then he's making love to his girlfriend. Like I don't know. And on top of that, he's like a talker too. So it's like the perfect character to match up with. Okay, now we have Sean Connery, right? And Sean Connery's treated very serious, but he still is able to get one-liners. Like there's so many things that could go wrong with The Rock that work very well, and they each have their own distinct personality, whether it's the action, the comedy, or the individual characters. It's like they're all from different freaking movies, to the point that people have that theory that Sean Connery is James Bond 007, because they mentioned that, you know. That's how far all over the place this movie is, but still it comes together and it works. And it works on the strength, I think, Michael Bay embracing the lunacy. Just like, okay, I'm going to treat this serious. It's not going to be like, well, Ed, you know, Nick Cage is hamming it up. So I think we're going to go with a little bit more hammy performances. He didn't do that shit with Ed Harris, right? He didn't have like a consistent tone. He was like, no, I'm treating this shit serious, bro. I love that. The Rock is tonally all over the place, and that's why it works, in my opinion. I give The Rock Let's Fucking Go. But okay. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, this movie is freaking great. This is, in my opinion, this is one of his best films to this day. Yeah, I definitely see why people, you know, when people talk about Michael Bay and like his magnum opus, a lot of people refer to this film, and I definitely understand why. And like you said, Perp, like the reason why it's just so great is because, like, yeah, it's like it's mixing the over-the-top 90s bombastic action and the over-the-topness, but also having that really serious, earnest tone at the same time. Yeah. For somehow these two tones are blending together so well in a way that it's entertaining and it's not taking me out. Because when we eventually get to the later films, he tries to do the same thing and it doesn't work very well. But with this, I don't know, he somehow found that perfect mix. And like Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, and Ed Harris, like all three of them playing like vastly different characters, but the way they are working off of each other is so freaking good.
Yeah, so freaking good. Even the side characters were awesome. Michael Biehn, dude, when he had that awesome speech.
Biehn, man. Yes, yeah. So great, so freaking great. Like, yeah, supporting cast is all around really good.
Yeah, that dude with the mustache with the awesome voice, that guy was awesome too. William, I think Forsythe, or I forget his name, but he's an awesome character actor. Yeah, the cast, the whole was like completely, like everyone was awesome. I love that. So good.
Yeah. It's like when you can make me buy Sean Connery saying, "Losers go home and complain about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen." One of the most iconic lines Sean Connery has ever said. Like. This movie should not have worked as well as it did, but it does, man. It's like it's so entertaining. I have to give it a let's fucking go too, man. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Oh, that's 2, man. It's automatically up there, right? Unless you're just rent the damn thing, Blue Jay, which I doubt.
No, I like the Rock. Like it's over the top. I think I couldn't really go like a let's fucking go, but I definitely will say it is still good. Like it's fun. I will say it's a let's fucking go, bro. Like it's no for you, but I would say some good ass shit, but it is a let's fucking go. I do agree. I do see people say I can see people saying this is his best film. To their categories.
To this day, I hear that. I hear that to this day.
Yep. All right. So, we got The Rock. Let's fucking go. Now, like I said, I have not seen every Michael Bay film. These are the only 2 I have not seen yet. I have not seen Armageddon or Pearl Harbor. So, I'm gonna take the mic to you two. So, let's talk about y'all need to talk about Armageddon. So. DL, go ahead. What you think of Armageddon?
So this was Michael Bay's attempt at doing a Roland Emmerich film. So I think it's fine. It's fine. I feel like the movie is being way too melodramatic but I'm gonna. This is gonna be a very similar opinion that I have with Pearl Harbor when we get to that next. But like, it feels like this movie's trying to be way too melodramatic, but then at the same time, it's trying to be really funny. And I feel like the movie was way too long, way too long. The whole mission of them trying to blow up the asteroid before it hits the Earth, that's fine. I can go with that over the top stuff. That's cool. But like, it just seemed kind of odd the way they brought this ragtag team together. It just seemed a little silly to me.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was okay. Bruce Willis was okay. Michael Clark Duncan, I can't say anything bad about that man. He's great in it. May he rest in peace.
It was his debut too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, he was really good in it. Everyone else I didn't care for. I didn't really care for at all. The side story with Betty Ross from The Incredible Hulk. It was really cheesy and sappy. But I thought the action was entertaining. I thought the set pieces were cool. Like this movie did a really good job of building tension and urgency. Like even though there was like some wacky weird stuff happening in the film, we never lost the sense of urgency that they needed to get this done or the Earth was in danger. So the tension was still there, and like just like the sense of peril I thought was done very, very well. But if this movie was like maybe a half an hour shorter and they pulled back on the weird antics of the ragtag team, this probably would have been better for me. From where I stand on it, it's like a really low some good ass shit, because I still think it's entertaining, but like it's not a film that I would revisit as much as like the Bad Boys or The Rock.
Okay, interesting.
All right. So Armageddon is one of those where it's not one of my favorites, but however, I think it's also one of my most respected movies. If you look at Roger Ebert's review of this, he said this was the downfall of cinema because this is officially the first 2-hour trailer movie. What he meant by that was that the editing was out of this world. It was very quick cuts. It's what Michael Bay is known for. His editing has been commented on, his editing style. A lot of quick cuts, a lot of like montage. I think it was way ahead of its time. I think in many ways, I think he started dictating the flow of action movies after this movie came out, whether people disliked it or not. It was starting to be used, his style of editing. And I also think that this movie specifically influenced Christopher Nolan's editing style as well. And I find that there is actually a lot of similarities in the style, technique, the way he uses music, montage between Armageddon and Oppenheimer. And I will be laughed at, but I do believe that Chris Nolan, it's been stated that he's a fan of Michael Bay. And I see that influence, whether it's subconscious or not. I totally see it in Oppenheimer from Armageddon specifically due to the editing style. I think it's some good ass shit. I don't think it's a let's fucking go. I would even say it's a rent it from a personal enjoyment factor, but my respect for it in terms of what it's done and how it's changed action cinema and how just like people just bought it no matter how dumb it was. That's what's crazy. Like people were crying and shit when it came out. It was like a lot of bro. It's like a bro movie, so a lot of like yeah, like but it touched them too. Like so, it's like it was onto something in terms of the final '90s, whatever was going on in the '90s in terms of destruction. Remnants of the dude bros of the '80s, but like now dealing with, I guess, environmental CGI effects. And this is like the pinnacle of that. This is the absolute pinnacle. And it's also a little cynical too in terms of tacking on that love story. So it's like it's also in the forefront of that Hollywood trope of like, stick a love after Titanic, stick a love story in it, you know. And he did that. He doubled that shit. When it's like, oh, this one didn't work out. Yeah, it was too sci-fi. You know what I gotta do? I gotta blend Saving Private Ryan with a love story, and he did Pearl Harbor. You know, it's very cynical, in my opinion. It's just speculation. It's speculation, but like, you know, that whole love stuff. I don't think Michael Bay gives a shit about love stories.
I don't think he does either. I don't think
that's an afterthought to him.
Yeah, so I think this is a very cynical move from him, trying to get like, you know, oh, he's deep, or he cares about, you know, or maybe just from trying to get the ladies to come see it, which I think they would anyway. In terms of, I think that's a good move of having like Bruce Willis as the dad and stuff, like all that stuff is really good casting. He's really good with casting, or at least he was before they just like whatever's hot.
So DL, you give it a good ass shit, like a low good ass shit.
Low some good ass shit, yeah.
Okay, and then Perp, you give it a good
solid.
Ass shit as well?
Yeah, solid, some good ass shit.
Okay, all right, good ass shit. I just put it behind Bad Boys. So, and let's talk about what I assume is the infamous Pearl Harbor. So I've heard about this movie for a while. That it's, when I first heard that it was Michael Bay that directed a World War II film, and I go, that sounded problematic, and I kind of hear that a lot. So, what do you guys think of Pearl Harbor?
Do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I mean, you can go hard. I don't care. I haven't seen the movie yet, so.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start. Well, this is the first one on this list where I'm not digging what he's doing. I'm not digging what he's doing. So this was Michael Bay trying to capitalize on the success and hype of Titanic, and it feels like a mixture of Titanic and Saving Private Ryan. And what's frustrating about this is that this could have been great, actually. Like, I think they could have had something really, really interesting with this. The problem is that I don't care for any of the characters in this. This movie felt extremely shallow and surface level as far as character development, and once again, being so melodramatic. Like, it's just too much. And then them trying to center this really tragic event around this love story. Now, I know Titanic did the same thing, but James Cameron actually, you know, the way he crafted the love story in Titanic was a lot more heartfelt and engaging than it was here. Like, it just felt Michael Bay is not very good when it comes to writing romance for films. Like, there's a couple.
Well, he didn't write them.
Well, as far as like directing them, I'm sorry, but as far as like, you know, giving enough, you know, time and care to the romance to make us care for, you know, these two relationships, he's not very great at that, except for a couple of instances which we'll talk about later. But like right here, it's just like I just didn't care for the romance, and I really like Ben Affleck and what's the actress name? I'm sorry, she was in Underworld.
Kate
Blanche.
Something.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, yes, I really like both of them, and they're doing the best with what they are given. Like, I don't think they were bad. I just think the writing wasn't very good with them. And this is star-studded cast as well. They're really trying to make this an Oscar-worthy film, but it didn't come around for me. And probably my biggest issue with this is that we all know that third act with the actual attack, I like Michael Bay was trying so hard to make that sequence cool from a spectacle and visual standpoint, and the stunt work. That was a very well directed scene. However, I think Michael Bay was focusing too much on making that sequence look cool instead of focusing on the tragedy of the situation. I didn't feel a sense of fear from that sequence. I didn't feel tragedy from that sequence. I was like, oh, this is really cool practical effects and stunt work going on. Like he was focusing too much on how cool the sequence is instead of focusing on how horrific that sequence is. That was probably the biggest letdown of this film, because going back to Titanic as well, when the Titanic was sinking, you felt fear and horror and just like the tragedy of the situation. Even though the movie was mainly focused on the romance, it did not take away from the actual tragedy of that event. I did not feel that in Titanic. I did not feel that in Pearl Harbor. It just felt like an excuse for Michael Bay to make a really cool destruction sequence, war sequence, and it's just that really let me down. Especially because this was based on a real tragic event in real life, and it didn't come across as like, it didn't have the emotional gravitas that it should have. So I would just give it just rent the damn thing. I don't think the movie's awful, but it had so much potential.
Wow. Pearl Harbor is what I talked about, like the height of the cynicism. But at the same time, I kind of understand what Michael Bay was trying to do. It seemed like he was trying to do like this kind of oh shucksy old-fashioned movie, and it's just like, that's not him. That's just not him. I think for a better version of that, I immediately go to Mel Gibson's Hacksaw Ridge, that has that oh shucks 1950s almost like Leave It to Beaver kind of vibe.
Right.
But the difference is that one, when it came down to the brutality, like that's what allowed that to exist, because then you're actually saying something like, oh, this is how we felt, this was way of life, all that stuff. But then when war happens, it's like brutal, and it's like that sort of difference against each other is what makes a movie kind of fascinating. When you PG-13 it in Pearl Harbor, you don't have that juxtaposition. Ends up like it's not a I don't know if it's a juxtaposition, but that difference doesn't end up working, because you're already doing like this kind of old timey style. It's like, I thought you were dead, Rafe. Like, it's like, come on. And then it's like, I don't know, the action stuff felt a little. It was a little mix and match, where sometimes he's trying to do gritty, sometimes he's trying to do Star Wars with the let's get him back, boys. All right, I'm on him, Rafe. Let's go. I got like it's all over the place. I kind of dig that, and that's what Michael Bay is good at. He's really good at that shit. But again, when he's doing the love story and just that time period with the dialogue and how, you know, there is one absolutely shining scene, an actor in that movie, and that is he was then an unknown, but now everyone loves Michael Shannon. Zod himself absolutely destroyed that movie in terms of acting, and had the best joke when he randomly goes, I had a girlfriend, and everyone looks at him and it's like, that's great. It's like, all right, great comedic timing, phenomenal. And that's what Bay's good at. He's really good at, like, you know, when it's just dudes hanging out and they're just improvising, and then the action stuff. But when he's trying to recreate a certain vibe, this made up nostalgia of what we thought of glamour Hollywood movies of the 40s, that's not his thing. That's just not his thing. It felt like a little too try hard. It felt a little like, oh, I could make an Oscar movie. And it didn't pan out, and it's kind of like it. I'm gonna say it. A lot of people hate this word, but it's cringe, right? It's cringe.
A little bit.
I think it's straight up some old bullshit. If it wasn't, if it wasn't for those action scenes, you know, and also not all the action scenes, because after Pearl Harbor, there's a bit of we're gonna get them back, and there's some bombing, and there's a little bit of a shootout, but it's very like, it's not good. It's not satisfying whatsoever. So it's kind of like, Like, Michael Bay does these great scenes, but then sometimes he does like these little spurts of action that are like 30 seconds here or there. It was like, why'd you do that? Like, I don't know, whatever. It was
that music video editing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the editing was toned down too. I think the editing was really toned down. I think he took the commentary of Armageddon and what people were saying about it and how he's destroying cinema with that editing, and he took that to heart. And maybe that's why he did this old-fashioned movie. So I give it some old bullshit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd
Okay.
be wipe my
so-
ass if it wasn't for the actual bombing.
Jeez.
Okay, so you are a rental
Yeah.
in purpose. So I don't know. If I were to,
I think because Blue Jay did not rent it and hasn't seen it, it goes to some old bullshit.
I mean,
Are you going to
the
see it, Blue
idea-
Jay?
I don't know because it's okay, because I like Michael Bay, but he's good at some things. I don't see this being like this is not a movie that's supposed to be entertaining to watch. This is a Michael Bay directing a World War II movie of a specific event, and it's trying to fictionalize it, and it doesn't sound right to me. Like Bay can work with different things, but not this. You know, he's gonna put his fingerprints on things.
I think, despite what Bay would say, I think he does take criticism. I think that's why this movie was even made, and I think it's not the reason why, but I think it's like, you know, he listened to criticisms into this one, and he will listen to criticisms for the other one, and he will. And in my opinion, when we continue on, he will bring it back. He will bring it back in terms of even doing another sort of real life event and putting a action spin on it. You know, he's going to do that several times again, like sort of almost trying to make up for this. You know,
right? So I don't know. It's just also the movie's also I saw it's like 3 hours long. I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't. 3 hours can work for me if it's the specific movie that I like, but I don't know. I kind of just to give it some bullshit.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
I mean, he's going to bring it. He's going to
it-
bring it back literally with the next one.
Yeah, literally
Everyone
next
calm
time.
down.
Yeah, but let's talk about a better movie. I feel, and let's take this clip away.
This is a nice fish, you know? Big fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish.
Bad Boys 2.
Wow.
Mhm.
This is Angry Bay. This is an Angry Bay, and we're all benefited. We all benefited from this. Everyone.
Yes,
Everyone.
Like I said, this is the movie. This is technically. I think when I was younger, I watched some parts of it, but not fully. Just not like just kind of like my first Bay movie because, you know, it's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Bad Boys 2. This is pretty much, out of all the movies, this is still my favorite one because it's obviously it's way over the top than the first one. This is just Bay being Bay at his craziest.
Everything is heightened. Even the characters are heightened. Where Will Smith is an absolute maniac. He's a murderous maniac in this movie, and Martin Lawrence is just complaining, like screaming and complaining the whole time. This is like so heightened in every level. It's crazy.
But what makes it funny is like it's just the chemistry is mostly just the little scenes I can think of, like the part where Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and Gabrielle Union were spying on the guys, and then they were getting away, and then the one Michael Bay cameo, he's like, "I need your car," and Will Smith goes, "Can you not get a better car than that? Let that man go."
Yeah, and then he says like weirdos or something.
He says freak.
Oh yeah.
And then he just gets a Cadillac, and he just is like, yeah, I get that one. That it's always little parts like that.
There's how many car chases are in this one movie?
I don't know. The movie,
Like 4 or 5.
Yeah, like oh my
what's
god.
crazy about the movie is that every time I go back to it, that movie is 2.5 hours long, and it never feels long. Because
I feel a little bit, but it's very satisfying because he gives you a lot of bang for your buck, bro. There's a lot of like this movie had like every other movie's final action sequence. This movie's any other action sequence. It was like insane. It was absolutely insane. There was I think there was like I don't know, like I think like I said, I feel Michael Bay does take criticism, and I feel Pearl Harbor kind of like he felt angry. There was like an anger to this movie because the disregard for life in this movie is absolutely insane.
Oh God, the body count is high in here.
Oh my god!
Not
Like
only
the-
that, but like they're in a car chase and dead bodies, like old men and grandmas are falling out, like bodies are falling out of the freaking funeral home van, and they're running it over and like making jokes about it. It's like crazy. And I think that attitude like was like, especially like post 9/11, I think a lot of people did not understand that attitude. And I think it wasn't until there was like champions of this movie saying, no guys, this is like that anger, that attitude. It feels like a legit 70s blaxploitation movie, even though it was made by Michael Bay. Just the like literally like they're fighting the KKK in the opening, like everything is heightened. Everything.
Yeah, that the opening is still one of the wildest openings ever. Just
And
like
he gets shot in the ass. Yeah, it's wild. You're right.
it's crazy because it's like the intro to Will Smith. You know, they go white power, blue power, motherfucker.
Like, man, that whole bruh. This is the first Michael Bay film I ever saw.
Me, yeah.
Congratulations.
I saw this in the theater, and I should not have, because I was definitely too young for this, but I saw it in the theater anyway.
Wow.
But
Did were you with your did you see the movie with somebody?
oh yeah, my dad took me to see it.
Okay. Do you have a cool dad?
Oh yeah.
What'd you think of that car chase? Because in many ways that
Which
is
one?
the perfect.
Which
Dude, the first the highway, the Miami highway one, with the cars like flying all over the place, and
Oh, dude,
I think that's the perfect Michael Bay action scene.
Dude.
It's perfect.
that's one of the best car chase sequences to this day that he's ever done. Like,
Yeah,
still to this day, this movie is so absurd. It is so insane. It is so wacko. It is the first film on crack, on acid. It like, there's so many things like, if I put my critic brain on, there are so many things in this movie that I should hate. But I love this film.
You see, this is the kind of movie like it's funny that you say it's on crack because it's on X because Martin Lawrence did take X.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's a scene where he accidentally drinks. He drinks the what's it called?
The ecstasy,
X, whatever it's called, the ecstasy pills, and then there's this whole sequence of them trying to lay the rundown to their boss, or whatever, and he's just filling up on everything, and the scene you just played a few moments ago about man, this is a nice fish, this is a freaking nice fish. Dude, there's a scene where they are disguising themselves as exterminators or whatever.
Yeah.
And like literally,
That was the
Martin Lawrence-
14th. That was the 14th shootout, I think. Yeah.
I think so. And
There's
literally,
so
Martin
many.
Martin
action
Lawrence
scenes.
is watching two rats fucking.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like,
there's a
what?
papa rat. There's a papa rat fucking the shit out of
Yeah,
my
this
rat.
bubble rat.
She said power driving her.
Like, dude, there's so many insane sequences, like you said. The freeway the freeway sequence with the cars flying. The other car chase sequence with the bodies flying out.
The Haitian shootout in the house where he's revolving. That's the first time he did that revolving camera
Revolving
shit,
shot.
and I was just like, oh my god, dude! It was like Bay firing on all cylinders.
See,
yeah.
this is
all
this is the-
cylinders.
this is the type of like I said, I'm an action junkie. I like any kind of action, but when you gave me something like Bad Boys 2, where it's the most absurd, like insane, like wacko Three Stooges crazy shit, like Looney Tunes cartoony shit, that is the type of shit that I like. Like it's the type of crazy that Fast and Furious can go crazy, but this is, you want to go like R-rated, man, you'll be like, I'll give up.
Dude,
Yeah,
and-
because he does do a little bit of the Looney Tunes, but he does treat it serious. Like again, it's what he did, and what he did with Ed Harris. He treats like cops, military stuff, very serious. He treats that
Yeah.
like, you know, when the cops are and the SWAT team is there, it's like shit's going down. He tries to be as realistic as possible, you know, quote unquote, in terms of like how cops are dealt with and the shootouts and that stuff, you know. But then it's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith versus in that house, and it's just a rotating like stylized camera because I guess he was like, I'm gonna one up the Matrix or something. I don't know.
You know
Yeah,
what?
it's like while Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are having these funny one-liners and stuff, Michael Bay does not abandon the sense of danger and urgency
Yeah.
of any of the situations. Like
Yeah.
the threats in this movie is real, and it's
Yeah.
like they're going through peril, but it's like again, it's that good balance of the comedy and the action. And it's like this movie's actually really funny. I think this is one of the funniest movies that Michael Bay has ever done. And I don't know if that's so much because of Michael Bay's direction or just the chemistry of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, but I think I laughed the most in this movie than any of the other films. Like the Reggie scene alone.
Oh my god,
Is one of my favorite scenes in cinema history. It is so freaking funny, and like there's no context to the scene. It just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's so freaking hilarious. Because they're just going with it, man.
I can literally quote the entire scene and be like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Burnett. I'm Reggie. What you doing here? I'm here to take Megan out. What? You take Megan out. How old are you? 15. Motherfucker, you look 30.
That poor kid. That poor again. It's very mean spirited.
It is very mean spirited.
It's stupid. Like they even take out a gun and the kid has to dodge. Like it's like that kid's traumatized.
I ain't going back.
But it's like, damn, it's that attitude. Is like they don't give a fuck. Like Michael Bay, Martin Lawrence, like they did it. They went all the way, and it's art. That is what art is when you go all the way from the gut.
It's you know what like. If you can go back in time, it's like if any movie, like there was a time machine, if you want to go back in time, you want to see a movie that you grew up with, but you weren't born at that time, or you were too young to see it. This will be one of those movies I would go watch in the theater day one in a packed crowd, because I can see where like people be saying like, oh, when people share their stories how when they go see Bad Boys 2, like people are like roaring at the theater of laughter. They talk about one comment on YouTube talk about the one of my favorite scenes is the TV station where Martin Lawrence was like, my ass still hurts. So what you did to it tonight? And then the lady goes, oh my lord.
Oh my god! Yeah, there's so many funny scenes like that.
All right, so is it a let's fucking go?
It's a let's fucking go. How is it anything lower?
It's a let's fucking go because like this is because this is the type of comedy that
Michael Bay's epic.
Yes.
Like this is the type of comedy like I like stupid comedies like because like Michael Bay does really like he goes out there with his comedies. This is like. It's almost like everybody was on fucking crack the whole time and say, like, let's make a movie.
All right, let's go. And I think this is the film that like set the foundation of how modern Michael Bay films are after this point. Like
pretty much.
Yeah, this is the starting point of the Michael Bay-isms that you see nowadays. But like
a lot of things worked in this movie, and you see it repeated in other films, techniques, style, and stuff. Yeah.
Like sure. I even still like I like the first. I love the first one. The third one is great. The third one's great, but honestly, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's. Hopefully it's not nostalgia talking because nostalgia can be really biased and shit. But if I want to rewatch a movie, it will have to be 2 because 2 is more rewatchable to me.
Well, the action is just on another level.
Yeah, like the action, the comedy, like you can literally just pick any scene in the movie and you remember it. Like it's quotable as fuck.
I will say, even though Bad Boys for Life is my favorite of the 3 so far, like I definitely understand if people like would more people would go back to the second film than the third film because like the second film, as you said, like it's probably the biggest spectacle of the film so far. There's a lot more like memorable moments, I guess I would say, like or scenes that stand out because of how absurd and like how much Michael Bay goes for it in this film. The third movie like still has the bombastic action, but it's still also trying to be like a good film at the same time. It's trying to
it's almost kind of when you think about it, it's kind of insane when we have the fourth one coming out in like 2 months, so like less than 2 months. But like we have 3 movies now. So the first one is pretty much a very grounded story with a little bit of crazy action here and there, with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith trying to switch identities and stuff. It feels grounded, but then you go to the second film, it's very night and day when you think about it. And it's almost like in a completely different world where everybody's just going all around crazy. And like you got all this crazy
Yeah,
action.
it's
which
like
is
it's like
entertaining.
an Elseworld version of the first
Pretty
one.
much.
Right, and then the third movie's trying to mix the tone of 1 and 2. Like it's trying to have over the top action, but also trying
Which
to be
is-
grounded at the same
I,
time.
I think
which
they
they
need
pulled it
they
off.
need way. I think they needed way more action in terms of like the crazy action. It looks like they bring it. They brought some drones with this new one, but
Mhm.
yeah, the action, in my opinion, the third one did not even come close to the second one. Like
Like I like the third
just the
one.
chase scenes alone.
Like without question, I think the third one is the best one, and I own it on
Probably.
digital.
I
own it
personally
on
like the
digital.
first one the most because it's like the most
Oh, you
coherent.
do?
Like
Okay.
yeah,
What
but I think the
will
second one's just
say-
crazy.
I will say, because the third one has the best story, obviously. The second has pretty much, debatably, who you talk to has the best action and comedy. The first one has just pretty much just the best pretty much it's just comedy. Like
That
it's
makes
not-
sense.
Yeah.
So, Bad Boys 2, let's fucking go. And yeah, it's a funny ass movie. And let's go with the more interesting one, because I don't know if not many people really talk about this movie. The Island. This is
I
a
didn't even
very
realize it was a Michael Bay film too.
You couldn't tell from that highway chase.
That was like the only time it actually felt like a Michael Bay
It
film.
was just like, hey, I know that. Well, there was some things in there. The
'Cause I feel like
cinematography felt so beige,
Honestly, when you think
especially in the desert. I was like, oh my
when you
god.
think about The Island, I remember I rented that movie. I remember kind of like mixed with it. Like it has some interesting ideas actually. Like what if you go to, I forgot how that goes. Like you go to this oasis called the Island, and like these people trapped in this facility, but then we go to the island, you actually die. I think that's how that goes. Like they're clones or whatever. And I mean, I don't remember much about the movie, like other than the action.
You don't remember the Xbox fight?
the Xbox?
Remember they're
think I
fighting in Xbox and they're using like some VR thing and it's Scarlett Johansson. This movie's
Oh.
product placement was out of this world, bro. This is the movie that brought product placement into Michael Bay to another level.
All I remember
Another
is just
freaking
like
level.
all I remember is the world of the city, like the city, how like it's. I like futuristic stuff. I feel like movies that like have a very futuristic aspect, like a cyberpunk aspect.
Sure.
And what's funny is that the movie says to take place in 2019. This has nothing like 2019.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like it, but
Mm.
we're not that close.
We don't have cable cars in the air.
No, that'll be kind of cool though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I don't know. I don't have that much to say because I haven't seen this movie in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the last time I had little memory of this movie. I think I remember liking it. All I remember was just the look. I mean, just an action junkie. I just remember that freaking action scene with them being chased on that little hover bike.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool, and them hanging on that sign. That was kind of a cool, pretty tense scene. And how the fuck they survived when that shit falls down? Like that's okay. That's a little stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's good, but to be safe, it's kind of a rental. If you're like,
Whoa.
I don't know. To me, it's a rental. I mean, it has some
Yeah.
interesting concepts.
I exactly put it on just to rent the damn thing. This is a very middle of the road film. I remember watching this on TV because it like back when people watched cable. This was on reruns constantly, and so I would just watch it. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's not very memorable. I'm going to be very honest. Like, and I think Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson was good in it. But as far as like, and it like there, I guess there is some interesting ideas with the clone stuff and this like island that's doing experiments or whatever. But the concept almost feels half baked to me. You know, like
Yeah.
it started to lose its interest like halfway through the film. Like I think when Ewan McGregor and the clone meet, that's where the film started to get kind of boring to me after that point.
Mm.
But like the romance between Ewan and Scarlett was actually fine. I thought it was fine.
It's kind of like Poor Things.
Yeah, actually a little bit because like they're because
Their
they're like
brains are like teenagers or something.
yeah they never lived a normal life and they're just learning stuff for the first time. So I thought that type of stuff was fascinating and it was kind of cute in moments. But yeah, like this feels the least like a Michael Bay film, to be honest. Like I said, I forgot this was a Michael Bay film outside of that car chase sequence. I mean, now looking at how the cinematography is, like the oversaturated colors, that is
Like the close up on watches and shit. Like when he does that stuff, it feels like some like Sharp Image commercial. Like I don't know.
But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's like I don't think it's not bad, but it's like it's not something. It's not very memorable to me. Like it's not. Like, once again, it's not one that I would revisit over and over again. So it's a rent the damn thing.
Yeah, this is very. It's just not a story I feel is appropriate with Michael Bay's style. It feels like it should be a slow burn. I feel like the energy that Michael Bay put into this once those clones start running and it turns into a chase fit. It's like, okay, that's the movie Michael Bay wants to make. You know, he wants to make a chase movie. For some reason he has this sci-fi concept. That's a very good concept. I think it's very interesting. That idea of like they have to do the clones like this because otherwise that's what makes their organs and bodies work, is like if they raise them, they just can't like keep them in this sedated state, which would be the more humane thing to do. That's very interesting, but then it's like it's not interested in that, you know. It's interested in the chase, you know. And I think in many ways it's a better version of Pearl Harbor, where it's like, okay, whatever movie, but then like this phenomenal action sequence happens in the middle of it, and then it's like and then the rest of the action sequence after never quite live up to it, you know. And you should always have an elevation of action in terms of whether it's intensity or something. Every action scene should be bigger. There should be an escalation of the action.
Right.
But with Michael Bay movies, for some reason, some of them in these middle movies, it's like not until Transformers again. Like he did this thing in Pearl Harbor too, where it's like the best action sequence is like in the middle, and then he does these little skirts throughout afterwards. And it's like it doesn't have the same impact. So I think The Island is like a better Pearl Harbor in many ways. I give it a just rent the damn thing.
Okay, so pretty much on the same page. Just rent the damn thing. I mean, I don't remember. It's not the most memorable Michael Bay. I might go back and watch it. You never know. Just parts of it. There's some interesting ideas here and there, but I don't see myself watching it as much as the other films. And speaking of a certain franchise, it's time
where he got everything he's ever done, and Michael Bay put it all into one movie.
There was the cube before.
Yes.
Let's go. Transformers.
All right. So believe it or not, little tidbit: Michael Bay was convinced to do this movie. He did not want to do it. He was like, I don't want to do it. Spielberg wanted him to do it. It's like, Michael Bay, you know, like, come on. Sort of had to pull what Spielberg did with Will Smith. Is like, Will Smith did not want to do Men in Black, and Spielberg's like, duh. For this one, Will, I understand you just did an Alien movie, but for this one, don't think, just do what I say. And Will Smith listened to him. And that's what Spielberg did to Michael Bay. He's like, Michael Bay, please, The Island, it's your first bomb, bro. It's your first bomb. Don't listen. Don't go with, just listen to me. Just don't listen to yourself. Listen to me. Do the transfer. And Michael Bay's like, all right, but I'm going to do it my way. And he's like, of course. Of course. I'm gonna make it real, damn it. I like what Nolan did with Batman. I'm gonna make it real, damn it.
Okay, but and this one is like, yeah, he was able to have some creative liberties, but he still was like, okay, you can't do everything you did in the previous movie. You got to pull back on some stuff.
He literally did everything he did, but he had
Not everything. I think after this point, that's where he started to do everything.
No,
like,
he did, like this was the culmination of every movie he's done before. Armageddon, freaking The Island, Bad Boys. This is a culmination of everything.
Yeah, but I guess
and he's putting it to, and Spielberg is the one. Spielberg and his writers and producers and his team were the one like adjusting everything to make sure it fit, right? That of Michael Bay's interests were put to good use, you know?
Yeah, you definitely saw them.
Okay, so
all the tricks that he does.
yeah. So now this Transformers, I was 7 years old. I know nothing about Transformers at the time. Until I seen some of the commercials that, oh look, giant robots. I want to watch it. And from that summer, in that particular summer, it will always be a memorable time. That movie made me a fan of not just this particular franchise, but the entire Transformers franchise. You know, going in like G1, Transformers Prime, animated, the comics. Well, I don't read the games even. They had me. I was buying the toys and stuff, and it made me a fan of the entire franchise. I love just the concept of transforming robots. Just appeals to me because beforehand, at the time I was like, in terms of franchises, Fast and Furious was my first love because I love cars. I mean, I love racing cars. I'm a car junkie and shit. But something like this also appeals to me as well. Like giant robots fighting. Fuck yeah, I watch that shit. And history was made. And history was made for me. So yeah, as a movie, I watched this pretty much dozens of times, obviously. It's still pretty much a very solid film. I do think it's a little too long because I remember I was 7 years old. I remember like really was kind of jaded with the runtime a bit because I was like, because you know how remember how when you were younger and then when you go see a movie, you're kind of waiting for like even like it like a Spider-Man. If you're waiting for Spider-Man, you don't give a shit about Peter Parker. It's like put on the suit. I want to see fight. I want to see people fighting. That's kind of like what this would transform because it took. Correct me if I'm wrong. It took like almost a whole hour for Optimus Prime to come in.
Yes,
pretty much because I was just kind of watching 50 minutes and like still. I mean, I was younger. I was kind of waiting impatiently for Optimus Prime or the rest of the Autobots to come in.
No, I think that like the movie didn't make us wait an hour to see a Transformer. They were still like showing other Transformers. Like we saw Blackout within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, so it's like they didn't. I think it helped, even though we didn't see Optimus Prime till like 50 minutes in. Like you still felt the presence of Transformers in there. So I was like, okay, I'm
right.
It helped build the hype because I remember when I saw this in the theaters, when Optimus does show up, holy shit, did the crowd go absolutely insane.
Oh my god.
The hype was real, and I think it was a build-up that they did to it. And they were feeding us pretty good with those action scenes.
The score, oh my god, I love the score.
I think this is also, in my opinion, a lot of people love Nicolas Cage, and I love them too, but this is one of my favorite collaborations between an actor and Michael Bay. Shia LaBeouf absolutely holds this movie together.
Yes,
like that. A lot of the act, like Ewan McGregor couldn't really do it. You know, Ben Affleck couldn't do it for Pearl Harbor. You know, in many ways, Bruce Willis was, other than Martin Lawrence, The Rock, and Will Smith. I mean, The Rock in terms of the cast of The Rock, like, you know, he's not. It feels like he's just working with a hot actor, right? And I think Shia was just like so freaking good in this movie, man, and really made you believe a lot of the times in his performance that those robots were really out there. It's not just the great effects. He was like really good with it.
I'll do you one better, because I know everyone wants to give Megan Fox shit in these movies, but I'll tell you this right now. Megan Fox was great in this film as well. Her and Shia LaBeouf was carrying this film.
Yeah, she was the best character.
She was the best character in this movie.
Yeah,
People look at me crazy, but that's the truth.
she had the most backstory and like arc
Yeah.
and all this. Yeah.
Megan, no, no, you go ahead. You go, DL.
It's like watching it recently, like, I mean, even though I did like her when I first watched it too, but like, watching it recently, I'm like, she actually is really good. She's honestly is one of the best characters in this franchise. But go ahead.
I also like it. I don't know if we would have gotten the transformations the way if any other director would have directed this movie, but I absolutely loved the transformations in these movies. Like the first time you see that shit is like, and then Michael Bay was really good in terms of escalation. This is what I'm talking about with action movies. You have to escalate. It's like the first time you see Optimus Prime is like he's like he comes in, he transforms, and then while he transforms, you see the other ones transforms in one sweeping shot. It's like, wow, no fast cuts, none of that shit. Yeah,
I love like. I think this is the first movie where I really like the sound design. Like it's not just like the transformation, because every time you go into Transformers movie, you always see the Paramount logo going.
The sound is impeccable. Yes, you're right.
The sound design is pretty much one of my favorite things, and it's just like that.
I think it's been copied. You even hear like sometimes I feel like he put like all these like all these different little things in there. That it's just like it shows up like even in Rebel Moon. I kind of like felt like
every time
a Michael Bay-ish.
It's almost every time like any movie. What we hear like the metal clanging, it's almost like you hear any other movie that has that type of sound.
Yeah.
The metal clanging.
Yeah, especially with cars crashing. Remember, cars crashing like used to have like a almost like a washing sort of sound effect. Now, car crashes have like a very specific mixed with clinking. Like a lot of like he also like put a lot of his Transformers sound effects into his other movies, which we'll talk about later on, especially Six Underground is like crazy with like the car sound effects. Holy shit. All right. But yeah, the first Transformers movie is like, dude, I think in my opinion, it's a let's fucking go. Like, I think like I was talking about the first transformation with Optimus. The second one was in the highway going 60 miles an hour.
Oh my God. Bone Crusher.
Incredible. Yeah. And that whole, you felt like, and there was a time, like, just like today, it's always been like, man, are summer blockbusters done? Like, that's every fucking year we had to hear that, all right? That's why it's not new. It's not new now. Believe me. But now it just happens that maybe they are done. No, but in 2007, when you're watching that in the theater, you're just like, it was just like almost like pre-Avatar. Like it was mind blowing when you saw that highway scene.
Never seen before. Like as far as like visual effects, this is something we've never seen before.
Yeah, that was something you never seen before. And I remember like the movie was kind of okay. It was skirting by. It was just like the hype, the absolute what brings it to the next let's fucking go is the effects and action with the effects. Like it was fantastic.
Like, it's crazy for a movie. This is like, every time I keep looking back, this is the type of movie that this is like a big risk at the time. Because this is the movie that what made Transformers relevant.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
Because it's very silly. You need to get someone with Michael Bay that has like this bro-ish attitude. Like, and it's like, I'm going to make it real no matter what. He's not going to go and James Gunn.
I look back, like, in like, imagine like a movie like spending $150 million on a movie based on some toys with someone like Michael Bay to direct it, and it became out this good. And it's like, I still do. I remember. I remember the fucking the marketing around it. I remember the one commercial, the one Burger King commercial where Optimus Prime was like, "I want a Whopper." Like, you're a fucking robot. You're a fucking robot. How can you eat a Whopper? It's like, no cheese, no onions, extra pickles. It's like,
But we'll be talking about it. You're a robot. Why do you want that with the rest of the Transformers series? Trust me, right? There's lots of you're a robot. Why are you robbing a bank? Like,
oh,
Oh, but,
why
so
do you need money? You're an alien robot, not just a robot. You're an alien
what
robot.
do you need the money for? What do you
What do you need money for?
What are you buying it for? Well, anyway, okay,
Get himself some
so
rims or something.
so going into this, I was already a really big Transformers fan. I watched all the cartoons, and as a kid, I loved it. Watching it now, I don't love it. I think there's still some great moments like we just talked about earlier, and I'm not taking anything of that away. Like I said, the first reveal of Optimus Prime, the special effects, the practical and the mix of practical and CGI in this is awesome. It's
The
amazing.
sport. What is this? Scorponox? That desert fight was just with
Desert
Tyrese.
was
It's like,
amazing.
oh.
left Jake, left Jake.
And
I
seen it 3 times. Jesus, yeah.
yeah, it's like but yeah, and the sound design is great. Like I said, Shia LaBeouf and
The music was very Batman Beginish, but it still like it worked.
the score was so great. It was so great. But as a Transformers fan, I personally had quite a few issues with the changes that they made. Now, it's not enough to say that this is a bad film. I think this is a good movie. But I feel like it could have been great because, like Michael Bay, still don't think he was the right person to direct Transformers. He still turned out a good film, but I feel like Spielberg could have chose somebody better to do this project. Somebody that actually appreciates the source material a little bit more. I don't have a problem with them making changes, but like it feels so drastically different that it's just like there's some changes I felt was personally unnecessary. You talked about like with the different pieces that you see when the cars are transforming. I feel like that was excessive with the design. And then as far as like their actual designs of the Transformers when they're robots, there's some of them that I liked and there's some of them that I hated. Starscream had the worst design in this entire movie. I hate his design.
Oh, we call.
He's built like a burrito.
He's a Dorito. Yes, he's a Dorito. I remember.
Perfect triangle.
I think I had a theory when I was.
He's got
like,
Triforce.
7.
Leave him alone.
I had a theory when I was 7. Like I had the Starscream toy, the Voyager class one. The reason why he's named Starscream because he's kind of shaped like a star. I was like,
like
It's not how they look. It's what you do. Because another crowd cheering moment was when Starscream shows up against those planes. The theater went nuts. That was crazy good.
that was cool, but I still hated that design while he was
I
doing
know,
it.
but it's like it's not how it looks. It's what you do with it. Michael Bay did great things with it.
And also, my biggest issue, and this is going to be a recurring issue that I have when we get through the rest of these movies, they don't treat the Transformers like main characters. They treat them as
Yes.
supporting characters
No.
/ side characters, and I hate
see,
that.
that's the problem.
There-
See, that's the problem
It's
because
excusable for this one. The first, I'll let you have this
This
critique
one
for
was
the first
okay.
one.
This one, I would
Yes,
know.
it's excusable for this one. It's very expensive effect.
Yes, and this is like a good entry point for
Yes.
to see the human's point of view of these Transformers coming onto Earth. So I accepted it for this first film to get us used to the world of Transformers. I got that. But another thing is knowing how great these Transformers are as characters. Like they're actual characters in the shows. They actually have their own amount of development and tragic backstories. And these Transformers, with the exception of Optimus Prime and maybe Bumblebee, they feel very one-dimensional as characters. And I feel like they could have done so much more. It's a similar thing how I feel about the X-Men films. A lot of them feel like one-dimensional characters when I know how great these characters are from the comics and all this other stuff. They could have put more effort in that. So that's why this is a good movie for me. I'll give it some good-ass shit. But it's I don't think it's great.
I think it's a let's fucking go.
I would say it's a let's
In
fucking
cinema.
go. to let's fucking go. This is pretty much this is the movie that made me a fan of Transformers, of the entire franchise. It's there's a difference between a fan of Transformers than a fan of just this particular franchise, because I've seen some takes on Twitter about the recent films, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I see you put it. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, this is a.
He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get up there again. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
That's his last. Let's
That's
fucking
the
go.
only one that's going to be.
Yeah, unless you guys love Pain and Gain that much, which.
All right, and let's just roll the clip.
Why don't you get a haircut with your bitch ass?
Pop a cap in his ass and put him in the trunk, and that ain't nobody gonna know nothing.
All right,
Greatest Michael Bay characters ever.
All right, Mr. Mudflapping Skins, you go first.
Let me tell you a story. So I was coming up with the first movie, I was liking Transformers a lot. I even played I had the video game for the Wii at the time. I was liking Transformers a lot, and I go to the transformersmovie.com where they have like little games and stuff like that where you go there. I remember the website changed. There was a black screen and it says Transformers Revenge of the Fallen coming 2009. I got excited, like, oh my god! I was like, I think I was 8. That was like a little over almost half a year when I first saw it.
God,
that was like, I was like, oh my god! I was excited. I was
Wait, you were 6 when you saw the original Transformers?
No, 7.
7? Oh my god.
No, 7. Yeah, back in the day. Back in the more simpler times. And so going into this, I was excited and stuff. And I was 9 years old when the movie came out. And, I said it was better than the first.
What did you say?
When I was a 9-year-old little boy, that I don't know any better. I was like, man, that one was awesome. That was better than the first.
Oh Lord!
I was 9 years old.
You like those Egypt scenes? You like those Egypt scenes, huh? Why are we in Egypt?
And let's see, what we got. That was it 15 years later? 15? Wow,
bro.
Time flies by. 15 years later. It's still a guilty pleasure. I'm not sugarcoating it. It's still a guilty fucking pleasure. It's not better. It's not better than the first one. I'll still watch it. Like it comes on. I'll leave it on that TV and stuff. But it has some cool shit in it. The Force fight's badass. I think I remember. I think I remember like, oh my god, Megatron's back! Holy shit! I was fucking 9 years old. I'm like, Megatron's back. Then, yeah, a lot of the shit that we have, it's very dated, very very dated. When I look. Yeah, when I look back, I watched this so many times when I was younger, but like when I'm older now, I look back. There's some little creepy scenes. Like, don't get me started on the professor like eating the apple and he's just giving it. He drops the shit to the.
Finish that for me.
Student. I was like, what?
You talking about virgins and shit? I'm like, what? What?
I was like, okay, what was that about? What else? The Egypt fight was awesome. The Fallen, when you think about it, the Fallen is pretty much a pretty weak ass villain.
Weak.
Because he's not in the movie. The movie's named after him. He's the main villain, but he's not in the movie as much. And he's just like revenge. He's played by Tony Todd. How do you waste that?
This movie.
How do you waste that? He has some good. I like there's something okay. Like there's the part where Megatron came back and he went back to like, was it the moon? I think it was like the moon. It wasn't Cybertron. I think he went back somewhere to meet up with Starscream and the Fallen.
What was that? Like,
See, well, that's because it's a scene with the Decepticons in it that's focusing on them. That's what I like. That's what some of these movies lack. It's just Decepticons like have their like little plans and stuff. Like we will get the boy, have a revenge and stuff. That's what these movies lack. Like Decepticons planning shit, like having a scenes of their own. We don't get that much. That's the problem. But yeah, I still look. There's people that hate the movie. It's a guilty pleasure. Is it better than the first one? Hell no. But oh yeah, let's not that Skits in my flap. Look, like I said, I told you all the time. They're funny. I have a different kind of humor. I might have a comfortability. You know, it's like there's people who could call them racist and offensive, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna call you a snowflake for that. Like someone does that, call them a snowflake for Skits and Muffler. Like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, don't like. I understand. This is my opinion. I just don't think they're like that bad to me. So yeah. So it's almost like I'm being put in the spot right now because like you
put yourself in this position, bro.
Hey, we gotta get through growing pains, Gotta get through the pain first. But yeah, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
I dare you to give us some good ass shit. I dare you to give us some good ass shit.
Fuck yeah, bitch. Fuck yeah. I was gonna be a little bit bolder, but no, I'm not gonna go there. No,
You're so
it's enjoyable. That's all. I just like dumb. I just. What do you want from me? I'm just a simple man. I'm just one man.
You can like what you like, man.
Yeah. Just. All right, go ahead, DL. Go ahead.
I hated this movie. I hated it. I was 14 when this came out, and even though I didn't love the first film, I enjoyed it. I was looking forward to seeing more, and the trailers made it look like it was going to be great. It looked like it looked like straight up like a horror film. I was really excited to see this, and even watching this in the theater, I didn't know how to feel about it at the time. It was very weird. There was a lot of weird choices. I was like, I don't know if I did like that more than the first movie. And then I watched it more and more, and then there's so many problems with this movie. So many. The fact that these films don't like to stick with their own continuity. It gets worse after this. The way Megatron comes back to life doesn't make any sense from what they established with the first film. The Fallen is a nothing villain, nothing. He contributes nothing to the film. These horrible joke characters in the humor is awful in this. Absolutely terrible. I don't think I laughed at anything in this movie. Mudflaps and Skips is really bad. Really bad. The tiny Transformers in this is really bad. They disrespect. They put balls on Devastator. I can't believe that. I could not.
The enemy scrotum.
Directly below the enemy scrotum.
Like, who proved that? I just no.
Michael Bay.
I can't. Obviously, he did, and yeah, I'm not giving this movie the benefit of the doubt because it was made during a writer's strike. No, because there's certain decisions made in this movie where it's like the writer's strike didn't tell you to put balls on a Transformer. The writer's strike didn't tell you to have dogs humping on people. The writer's strike didn't ask you to have all these horrible human characters. The college scene was a complete waste of time. Complete waste of time. And then there's this android transformer that transforms into a hot chick and tries to have sex with Shia LaBeouf.
That's
What-
pretty cool.
What the fuck? What? Like, why don't you have an army of that? Why are you even transforming into vehicles? If you could have robots transform into humans, and that was never brought up ever again after this point. What is going on with
Do
this
you
film?
know? Do you know a fun fact, the DL? You mentioned Devastator. I like his like the way like his transformation when he transforms, like combining and stuff. That's cool. But you know what was something funny about the toys? The toys. I don't think it's like the Hasbro one. I'm talking about the third party ones. They literally include the fucking scrotum.
That's pretty cool.
The toys included the fucking scrotum, and the picky and go back on the first movie, the Jazz toys, they literally make you rip him apart. The official Hasbro ones, you can rip him apart. Have him display with Megatron.
It's just Michael Bay putting up the middle finger to anybody that likes Transformers. The designs of the Transformers I don't like. It gets worse with every film. Like Devastator, he looks like a giant ape. He's built like an ape. I hate it. It's absolutely terrible. Most of the Transformers are black and gray. I couldn't tell anybody apart. I'll give you this: the action was better than the first film, because in the first film there was too many close-ups and shaky cam that I couldn't tell what was going on. And at least they backed up the camera so I could see the Transformers actually fighting. I can see who's I can have far away shots. It's not close up. But still, it doesn't help that the Transformers look so junky and there's too many pieces. It's like it's not aesthetically pleasing to look at. And I'm sure the people making the toys, it's a nightmare making the toys after these designs because they're so freaking busy. I can't. No.
Oh my gosh! When you mentioned the toys, the fucking Mixmaster, the fucking dude with that turns into a turret. That dude is a nightmare to transform. When I see people transforming him, that dude is a fucking like grocery, like a whole chore. It's a chore. Like, I will give you this, like the designs, yeah, they got really crazy with them designs. Some of them I kind of fuck with. Some of them are like, how do you make this into a fucking toy? That's my question.
I don't understand. And then the fake death of Optimus Prime. Like, fuck you. This is some old bullshit.
Bro, when I first saw I was 9 years old in the theater, and like when the toys when Optimus Prime died, I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. But then I was
86 again, except it's worse. Like, what the?
then later on, with me and my cousin, we see these movies, like it's like a tradition. Me and my cousin, we see these movies throughout the years. And then when Optimus Prime got parts of Jetfire and he goes, let's roll, we looked at each other like, what the fuck? But it was cool. Let's roll.
And Optimus Prime, the peaceful warrior? Nah, screw that. He freaking impales the Fallen like a Mortal Kombat character. Like, what the?
Give me your face.
Give me your face.
He rips his face off.
That scarred me.
Well, Optimus was crazy in that. Yeah, I agree with DL. I think the action was looked on and improved on, especially the forest fight I thought was fantastic. I think the Shanghai scene and the opening scene was pretty good. A little bit of edited, a little crazy, but I thought it was pretty good. I like that look specifically for Michael Bay. The way that's lit, the Shanghai opening scene is fantastic in my opinion. I'm surprised he never's gone for that look again. But it's an absolutely obnoxious movie. It's one of the most obnoxious movies ever made, in my opinion. It makes no sense. There's like the action, the highlight being the forest fight. It kind of doesn't get that good ever again. Even in the Egypt, the fight is extended, but it's like with some highlights here or there. There's not a cohesive, like, good choreography action thing going on. It's just a bunch of shit blowing up. And the cool stuff is, I think, saved for the army people. Like you see a helicopter go down, that looked like a practical helicopter too. Like there's some really cool stunt work going on there, all in the service of the army people. He went a little too army crazy in this one, in terms of the action perspective, a little more than the first one, especially in the Egypt scene specifically. I think this is the worst one because of that. Because I love a good climax action scene, and this is Michael Bay's worst climax, in my opinion. I didn't dig it. I didn't like the desert look. It's like, you already did it with Scorponok, so it's like I wasn't impressed. I guess because he could blow up a lot more shit there. He decided to do that.
It was very dull.
Yeah, I didn't dig it. There was a lot of side story, a lot of like dilly dally throughout the movie. There's just like, why are we doing this? Why is there a little person meeting them at the border of Egypt? Like, what is going on? Like the jokes were very, very cringe.
There's Jetfire!
Yeah,
Arm Jetfire, Rusty.
a lot of yelling. This is like the cliche Michael Bay has actors just yelling at each other. That happened a lot with the side character, the dude that came along for the ride this time, the roommate. That dude was very I felt so bad for. I feel bad for that actor because that character was very obnoxious. He was just reduced to yelling and being tased at the end. It was like, okay, whatever. I give this some old bullshit. Actually, I don't. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I think
you want to? So here's also I do have a couple. I do have another flaw with the movie. There's way too many Autobots, and they have no screen time.
Volt.
Because you get
What the heck was Jolt?
Jolt. Oh, I thought it was Volt.
oh, bro. Jolt was a nothing character. He was there, he was in car form. He was there as a promotion for the Chevy Volt, because that's the first time I heard about the damn car. He was there as a promotion for Chevy, and then he just comes out of here just electrify, which like he's a nothing character. And also I mean, Sideswipe was cool. Fucked up sideways. I was like, damn, I'm good. But the RC triplets, I did not like that design whatsoever.
Oh my god, I hated that. And then they kill him.
And oh yeah, they were killed. Like, oh well, they're
I
disposable.
think only one of them get killed. The other one's just.
No, they all die in the same scene.
Oh.
All of them get killed
Right. It's
In the same
like
shot,
that,
then.
in the same shot. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's why it's one of my bigger issues. Is like they were just there to sell toys. Like they got new characters in there. It's like most of them are Chevys. They have a big collab with Chevy at the time. It was Chevy everywhere. So they were just there to sell Chevys and toys, which is the purpose of Transformers, I guess.
Yeah,
pretty much. But I'm. Look, this is a guilty pleasure for me, but I'm gonna be respectable. This is some old bullshit.
everyone has their guilty pleasures.
Yep, everybody got the guilty pleasures, and the guilty pleasure keeps on going with Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Oh boy.
Which I will say this is the best sequel, best of the sequels.
Sure.
The best of the sequels, because I watched this.
I would do one over and say it has the best Transformers action scenes.
Because I remember I was 11 years old. For me, I was Transformers all fucking day. It was like literally at the time, I would say during 2007 and maybe like 2014, in that 7-year gap, because I was like Transformers all fucking day. Like, I was watching Transformers Prime was running concurrently with these Michael Bay films. So I was watching that. I was like, man, this is a good time to be a Transformers fan. So going into this movie, I was excited. We got all this. Actually, it was at the time where I was kind of teetering. Oh, no, no. Yeah, see you. Have a good night, Taladia. Yeah, I hope you have some good rest, man.
See ya.
All right. So at the time, I was like, I kind of dipped my toe into like theory videos of Transformers. like as you know, I've subscribed to some YouTube channels and stuff like that, but I wasn't fully into it. I was just kind of like going in blind. But no, I went in like completely blind. And man, I love this movie. I just mostly just like how, I mean, every time a Transformer movie comes or any movie, they say, "Oh, this is the darkest one." Not really. They're still fucking goofy. There's still some goofy shit in them. Like the fucking like Wheelie and Brain. They were they were still they were kind of you don't seem like those, don't you, DL?
No.
Brain going, we are family.
I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of. I remember I watched Entertainment Tonight. They were looking at behind the scenes before the trailer dropped for Transformers 3, and they were doing this whole big thing. They're filming in Chicago. They're blowing shit up and stuff. I was like, oh wow, this looks fucking epic. And the Chicago fight is fucking epic. It's fucking awesome. And I would say out of all the villains in this series, in this franchise, Sentinel Prime is the best villain because he has a reason. Because Sentinel Prime, he made a deal with the Decepticons to kind of save his race, which is not ideal, but he wanted to end the war, his way of ending the war. So I kind of got a lot of that out of all the villains, he's the best one.
Sure.
Megatron,
If you ignore all the gaps from the previous two movies, yeah, he's a really good villain.
yeah, because when you think about like Megatron, well, he's Megatron. He just wants to get the cube and just chase Sam down the entire city. The Fallen, he was nothing. He was just sitting in the chair. But when he killed Prime, he's like, yes, Prime is dead, but he got fucked up. Got his face ripped off and shit. Sentinel Prime had a reason. Like he betrayed them, killed Ironhide. That one shocked the shit out of me. I was like, I was like, what? But Leonard Nimoy did pretty good as the voice of Sentinel Prime. And then I also like the song. It has the best song of the entire franchise, the best Linkin Park song.
Do you feel
You cry.
the desperation?
Yeah.
Remember
I'm like, I'm so sad. This is so sad. So yeah, there's still some pretty dumb shit in the movie. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you can't go a Transformers movie without having a lot of dumb shit, like goofy shit in it. Like, they're not supposed to be high art. Like, I know some fans like to say they're high art. I'm not one of them. I'm not that pretentious, believe me. So for me, it's a good ass shit. I mean, it ain't if you're a fan of the movie, if you're as a Transformers fan, if you're a fan of the movies, it's a good ass shit. But if you're looking at it from a critical eye, to me, I would say it's a good ass shit. You're not gonna win me. You're not gonna sway me to thinking otherwise. So, hey, I'm a fan. So, it's the best sequel. Has the best villain. There you go. So, DL, what do you think of Dark of the Moon?
So, you, along with a lot of people I talk to when it comes to this movie, a lot of you guys say the same thing, that this is the best sequel of the Michael Bay Transformers films. By proxy, I probably would agree. And as far as action, this is probably the best action I've seen in a Transformers film. And a lot of people want to give the movie a pass because of the last 45 minutes of the movie, which I'll admit is probably one of the best action climaxes I've seen in a film. Like, everything hit. the visual effects, the practical stunt work, just the Transformers just wreaking mayhem in Chicago. It's one of the best sequences I've ever seen. And this came out before the Avengers. Let's keep that in mind as well. This was a year before the Avengers. And it came out with this. It was spectacular. But I have to sit through an hour and 30 minutes of bullshit. Complete bullshit. All the human stuff, I did not care about at all. Megan Fox, they replaced her. I know there was stuff happening behind the scenes between her and Michael Bay, but you really felt her absence in this. What was her name? Rosie Huntington Whitley. I think that's what her name.
I think yes, that's her. I think that's her name, but I call her character Carly.
Carly. She was fine, but she wasn't no Michaela. She was not Michaela. I didn't even like Shia LaBeouf in this. I thought that he was an asshole in this, and it's like I did not care about him trying to get a job. Why are you not working with the Transformers and the Nest? Like, that was the natural progression from the first two movies, and he's getting a regular job? What? What is this garbage? And then they retcon. The retcons in these movies are so ridiculous. And it doesn't end here. It gets worse after this. But yes, send him to Pride if you want to compare him to Megatron and the Fallen as far as motivations. Yes, I guess he has the most to chew. But if you really think about how his motivations line up with the previous two films, it makes no freaking sense. So Megatron wants to get the Allspark to transform human technology to take over the universe. And then the Fallen wants to take the Energon and suck up the sun for Energon, right? And then Sentinel wants to transport Cybertron to the Earth and enslave humanity to help them rebuild Cybertron. Please explain to me how any of these three motivations make sense with one another. It doesn't. It freaking doesn't. And then the Ken Jeong.
You mean Deep Wang?
The worst thing in this movie. I hated him so much. I'm not even a Ken Jeong fan, so let me keep that in mind. But he was a complete waste of time. Once again, the Transformers are being treated as special effects and not main characters in their own movie, and it's making me mad because the human characters are so bad in this. No, I'm sorry. I cannot give this movie a pass because the climax was amazing. You have to sit through an hour and 30 minutes of garbage. So, sorry, this is some old bullshit. I can't do it. It's the best.
No.
It's not saying much. It's not saying much.
The valid points with the job stuff, that's fine. I think it also has a really good opening. I think it's pretty awesome and montagey.
Covering the moon landing, and that there's a transformer that was sitting on the moon.
Yeah, it was handled pretty. Yeah, it's just as dumb as everything else. Look.
But this is even more stupid than the previous two.
No, I don't think this is dumber than Pirates ran into Megatron and got imprinted in glasses. Like, I don't know. I don't know about that.
You cover up a giant robot on the moon? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, technically we can't get up there.
And they don't tell the Autobots this information. Why?
Because it's stupid, dude. But I'm just saying this is just as dumb as the other ones.
I'm just saying, like.
So I'm gonna look at so what did it do improve on? It was like, I think it used the moon landing, the conspiracy stuff a little bit better. It was more coherent than that second one, and maybe in the first one, right? Because they had like
the first one, not the first one. No, because the first one was really simple, but it for the most part it made sense. Like,
dude, the aliens come to eBay. It was so convoluted, is what I'm saying. This is like very simple.
The whole franchise is convoluted, but
yeah, but this one has a basic with the moon landing shit that they have like a core that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Versus like they're not going through the glasses and this guy's history, even though they're giving you flashback of the wiki lineage. Like that's all like so stupid. Like, you know, like this has the core of the moon landing and it sticks to it.
But this is a sequel, and if you try to connect that with the other stuff they were explaining in the first two movies, it makes even less sense that they're establishing this now.
Yeah, but I'm a Friday 13th fan, and none of those are consistent, so it doesn't matter. I don't care about like individually. Yeah, sure, you could make note of that. Oh, this isn't consistent at all, and that's it. But individual movie is like, all right, if that's how they're playing it, this is how I'm watching it.
Well, hold on, I like these movies. Their continuity is complete dog shit.
Yeah,
like, bro, like, let's not have any of y'all forget the fact that every Transformer just comes back all of a sudden after they die. Like, Barricade comes back out of nowhere. Barricade comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. That's another
Like,
issue.
well, when did Barricade die?
He disappeared. Well, he didn't even.
Disappeared. He didn't die.
Oh no!
He just left after the first battle.
No, he got killed on the side of the like off screen. He got killed off screen.
By who?
Yeah, Bumblebee. Oh no! Do you remember like the first fight with him and Bumblebee in the first movie in the power plant?
Yeah,
but he basically just kind of just shocks him. That's implied that he died.
No, but then he shows up in the chase.
He shows up at the end battle. In the
Oh
first
right, he did.
And then he disappears. Then he disappeared after that.
See, that's the thing.
He didn't show up in the battle at all. He just showed up for the chase. I don't know what the hell happened. They lost him, I guess, or he just like screw this. He got bored and he left.
See, that's the thing. Like they're like with these movies.
Yeah,
Transformers
it's all over the place.
Oh yeah. Bone Crusher was in the second one. Remember?
I said that the editing is commented on is like so many characters, especially when double that with effects. Like when he has to like, there's no consistency or continuity when it comes to like the effects and the effects work and shit like that.
Well, yeah, because like they had to just reuse the same models. Just
if the characters like, because their effects, the characters could just disappear because they're effects. That's why Barricade didn't show up in any of the battle. He just left. He was chasing. Last we left Barricade, he was chasing. Wasn't he chasing Michaela and Wiki?
Yeah.
And then they cut to the Optimus
brief
fight, and then they cut to back to them, and they just park and go get radios, and they're like, "What happened to Barricade?"
That's what I'm saying.
All
Like
over
the continuity is so like scatterbrained.
That's already so it's already like all over the place. So I don't keep that in mind when I'm looking at the third one. Is my point. So what are we looking at for the third one? Okay, so what did Michael Bay do that's cooler? All right, I definitely think it's an improvement in the second one. So what did he do? Okay, so he had two Transformers, like transform after crashing into each other. That shit was awesome. Ironhide did that.
Yeah, that shit was kind of cool. Not cool.
So it's like he's being creative the way Michael Bay should be creative, which is like destruction, all this shit. Like, so that's why I think it's some good ass shit. I think it's beyond just renting. I think this should have been seen in the theater, especially.
I like the little Mexican standoff with Ironhide and Sideswipe with the little dread Decepticons. So that was a little cool bit. They
have little bits here or there. There's definitely an attempt at being more with the characters in terms of the Transformers than the other two.
Where?
Yeah. It's just
from Sentinel to Optimus actually talking, in the field and shit.
But like still, this is a movie that has way too many. Like the Autobot cast was growing and growing, and then you have what was it, Dino, the red Ferrari guy? He was cool.
I forgot. Megatron in Africa was awesome. Like he looked dope. Like there was character in there. I think that was an actual character. Like he looked like a loser, but he was in the Africa, and like he wanted all the animals to bow to him. He actually felt like how people describe Starscream to me.
What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Megatron is getting weaker. Like in the first movie, he was just his normal self.
There's like an
then
arc
he got
going on
fucked
with
up. then he got resurrected, and he's like a little weaker, and then now he's this beat up, fucked up truck, and
Yeah,
it's
he's
just,
like he feels like a hobo in Africa.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, but it's very cool imagery. Again, I think there's creativity in a lot of the decisions, just not in like the story or plot points or anything like that. In
Oh, yeah,
the way, in other
That's what I
things.
say, like, yeah, it's better than Revenge of the Fallen, but it's not a good movie. Like, yeah, visually it looks great, but I want story, especially coming from someone who's a Transformers fan. I would like to have some story and some character with the actual Transformers because it's their fucking movie.
Sure.
yeah, that's fair.
So where are we doing? Is it going on rental then? I say some good ass shit.
And that is some bullshit.
Blue
Let's,
Jay.
I'm sorry. Like,
let's put this in the middle just to be
Blue.
safe. Just put in the middle. I do see where I do see like a both sides thing. I would say like some good ass shit, but I think I will put this in the as like a rental, a high rental. So there you go. So let's simmer down. Let's take a break from Transformers for a brief second.
Simmer it down. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I like Pain and Gain. I don't know about you. I mean, I do see why people say like this is based on a true story, and I did hear what happened, and it's almost I hear what happened after watching it. It's kind of fucked up, but about 3 stupid ass bodybuilders trying to get money out of this one guy is it's fucking stupid as fuck. Bruh, but if you kind of not think that as a movie, it's entertaining as fuck. I like the Rock because it's one of the few times where the Rock is not playing the Rock. He's playing a different character. Like he's like this big dumb muscle guy, and he's just like, I can't kill people, and he's like he just gives off this otherworldly energy that you don't really see much in Rock movies all that much. And then if you hear there's a helicopter that went by. And then I forgot that Anthony Mackie was in the movie because I think the first time I see him, Anthony Mackie, was actually him as Falcon in the Winter Soldier. This was a year before Winter Soldier, and it's like, oh, he was in it. He was kind of funny. He was funny in the movie. Mark Wahlberg was pretty funny. I think this is a really funny film if you kind of have depending on what mindset you're in. You know, if you're not really thinking too much about the incident that happened back in the day, you probably might not have a good time if you have that kind of mindset. But as for me, this is just a movie about big dumb guys doing dumbass things. And I kind of am all for that. So yeah, this is kind of a tough spot because there's a lot of people who are very mixed on this thing. I hear a lot of people don't like it. There's people that love it. I would give it some good ass shit. If you're not thinking too much about the actual incident that happened. But hey, some good ass shit. So I'm curious of what you think of Pain and Gain. The DL.
Oh man,
Do you want to go first, Bert?
I've never gone first once.
Yeah,
All right, go per. My bad. I'm my fault. I'm always giving DL the spotlight.
All good. All right, Pain and Gain. This is a weird one for me. I think it's a weirdo movie. I think it's a very weirdo movie. I don't find it particularly funny. I don't think it's funny. I just didn't laugh. I find it very interesting though because it's not funny. And I think it's trying to be a Coen Brothers movie or something but at the same time it's shot very well, and I do find Michael Bay's sort of eye kind of like bizarro and interesting. I think he is an interesting filmmaker because of that. Because this movie's morals, this movie's everything is all over the place. But then I think that, but then I see the character of Ed Harris. I think Ed Harris is Michael Bay's freaking shining beacon that no one talks about, because Ed Harris's character comes into the scene, and I think once again he is the most human character. He's just like, he's not a Michael Bay character. It's like a real character comes in there, this guy, and he has these really nuanced, cool scenes with him and his wife. And I was like, where the fuck what is going on? I don't understand how Michael Bay could do that sometimes, where it's like he really does have a talent and he really does seem like, oh, he cares about certain things and not others, not like any other director. And that's why he is who he is. That's why he's the personality in his movies, because of what he cares about. And sometimes he'll just surprise you. And I think Pain and Gain did surprise me a little bit, but I think it's kind of a rent between a rent and some old bullshit, because I don't find it funny. And I know the intent is to be a comedy, a dark comedy. I find the comedy not good, but I find that interesting because of that, because these characters are all over the place and just assholes. I give it a rent, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead, DL.
Nah, this ain't it. I kept hearing from people that like Michael Bay was going to go back to his roots in this. It's going to feel more familiar. And it's like, why? Because he's not working on giant robots anymore. Like that was the extent of Michael Bay going back to his roots. But no, I agree with Perp. This movie was not funny. It was not funny at all. I don't have any personal connection to the actual event. I did do some research on what it was, but I kind of see why people would be insulted by this if people have personal connections to the real life events. But on top of that, I just don't care for these characters. They are very unlikable. This is a very mean-spirited movie as well. Like, why should I care about these guys that's trying to get money off this other person? Like,
yeah. And it's like he does. Michael Bay is known for this with Bad Boys 2. I kept saying that, but mean-spirited. But when you have the backdrop of a real event, then it's like it feels a little different.
right.
And also, and also, if you have like likable leads like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, then you kind of get away with the mean-spiritedness. So
Right. None of them are likable. I would say The Rock and Anthony Mackie are charismatic enough where it's like I do enjoy watching them in these roles, but I don't like them as people. And then Mark Wahlberg, I'm not a fan of Mark Wahlberg either, so it's like it already didn't help that I have to watch him. He's like the anti-movie star to me. But like, yeah, I didn't care for him. And once again, it's just Michael Bay doing it feels like he's going through the motions. It's the oversaturated colors and the typical Michael Bay camera movements that he's doing. Like, this movie is trying to be an action film, but it's not really an action film. This movie still just feels very confused. I don't know. It's some old bullshit for me.
yeah, because it's like the movie has, and like it has some it has some Bad Boys 2 DNAs in them, because the part where the part with The Rock was like on in front of a grill cooking severed hands to destroy the fingerprints. It's like, it's bizarre, but it's like the shit that I'm kind of used to when I'm thinking of Michael Bay. Isn't that weird to say? I mean, because I don't know. It's like when I think of Michael Bay, like I think of like the weirdest shit. Like I'm thinking Bad Boys 2 crazy shit. Like, oh yeah, The Rock cooking severed hands and shit, or Mark Wahlberg bringing a bloody chainsaw to a Home Depot. Like, I don't know. It's like it's always weird shit like that catches me off guard and it makes me laugh. But it
There's
does
also like, let's be clear, it's not so much because I've been using weird too. I think there's an immaturity. It's not so much as weird. He's just incredibly immature, you know, in his movies.
Yeah.
And I like immature comedy like too. It's like I like immature comedies if it's not very low hanging fruit.
Right.
Sometimes if it's used well, Like, it's you can get away with just a bunch of shit, fart, poop, pee jokes, and I hate those. Those use are ad nauseum. Like, yeah, a fart joke can be funny, not all the fucking time. Like, oh yeah, fart joke, whatever. But it's always just like the most crazy bonkers out of nowhere that just makes me laugh. So, what would you? So you give Pain and Gain a bullshit DL.
Yeah.
All right, Perpy gave it a rental.
Yeah, it is interesting because of the dark tone and just like I don't know. It's just a very weird. I think it's his weirdest movie, honestly.
I think it's an acquired taste. I'll say it's a movie for it's an acquired taste.
It wants to be like Burn After Reading or something, but it's just like you can't do that type of comedy, bae. You do like very drastic, like big, broad comedy, not like nuanced character study comedies.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste for some people. It's not for everyone. So I'll put that as a rental. And let's get back to Transformers with Transformers: Age of Extinction. Yeah. Interestingly enough,
Sucking a metal and dropping it. My favorite line ever. That is the line to best summarize Michael Bay. It's sucking a metal and dropping it.
Oh gosh. All right, so this is an interesting thing about this movie. I find this to be entertaining. I feel this is gonna be something weird to say. Well, to DL, I think this has the best Autobot characters, like the best cast of characters, because of Hound.
Come again.
Because of Hound. Because Hound is pretty much a show. Like Hound, because he's played by.
He said this is the best lineup of characters, and he just mentioned one person.
Like, yeah, Hound, Drift, Crossers was kind of cool. Like their personality kind of shines. Their personality they do because they give off personalities, and unlike, well, like Jazz, Jazz goes, "What's cracking, little bitches? It's a cool place to kick it."
Get it? He's black.
Yeah, he's black, y'all. Well, I liked some of those like the Autobot characters that we have. Hound pretty much steals the show because anything he ever says get kick out of. Like with the part when he was in the trying to rescue Optimus Prime. It's like that part when he looked at the cage and that little creature that spits out, that kind of get a chuckle out of me because he was just so over dramatic. That part was kind of enjoyable, amusing and stuff. But I don't like these human characters, especially the boyfriend. The boyfriend is pretty much the most unlikable dick I have ever seen.
Mr.
And you know, oh my god, even the line is like, "Hey, you're not here to get my daughter. You're here to get my girlfriend." I'm like,
huh?
What did you just say?
Like, I want to wait. Why do you have mouthwash? I want to be fresh when I'm making out with your girl. What? Why would you say that?
Weird humor all over the place.
Yeah,
doesn't need to be said that there's weird humor. Say the biggest weird joke. Go ahead, say it. Say it.
I just said it. The Romeo and Juliet loss.
Don't get me started on that one. I don't want to get me started on that one.
There's weird humor all over the place.
Yeah, there's weird humor.
There's also like this weird starting over shit that they're trying to do. And it's like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, because I looked at I heard the news that Shia LaBeouf didn't want to come back he was done with Transformers, which, hey, good for him. If he wants to get out while he can, he has the choice. I still like Shia LaBeouf. I mean, he can be a crazy ass motherfucker nowadays, but I still like him of his earlier stuff. But yeah, the human characters pretty much. I mean, I like Mark Wahlberg all right, but he's not Sam Witwicky. He's just whatever. The daughter, I don't care for her. I don't
That might
care.
be the worst Transformers character. Her and the boyfriend.
I forgot what her name was.
Tessa.
Tessa?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Tessa. Yeah.
I don't even know
remember.
a single. I don't even know. Okay. At least with the one in the third movie, wasn't her dad in the army or something? Like I need, or like she was involved with politics. She was like an intern or something.
Yeah.
Like I literally know nothing about that. She came from college, I guess. Actually, I do.
Oh,
know
Carly?
that too.
the
No,
third one?
Tessa.
Oh, Tessa. I don't know.
There was like not a single thing I knew about her.
That's the thing. I don't remember her. She was just like the damsel in distress that got kidnapped by lockdown.
By mistake.
By mistake, I guess. Yeah. Well, speaking of lockdown, he was cool. I mean, he was just pretty much a more generic bad guy. Cool design. The gun face stuff is silly as fuck.
Yeah,
The
that
gun face shit, that was
was goofy.
kind of cool at first, but you can
Anime
transform your
shit.
face into a gun. It's very
That's
Michael
anime
Bay.
as F.
That's very anime, yeah.
Yeah, it's very anime. What's even funnier is that I remember there was a commercial when they show it was a Oreo commercial for this movie, right? So where it was the part where Lockdown shoots Optimus Prime, and some random kid walks up to Optimus Prime, gives him an Oreo cookie, and he goes like, "Whoa, thanks, kid," and he just what? That was a fucking weird ass commercial. I guess Oreo made of Energon. That was
Yeah,
That
yeah.
yeah, that was. But it's entertaining. But here's also the weird thing: this movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
For no fucking reason.
This is one of those weird movies where I did not feel the runtime. I had no idea why. It was so fucking long. I did not feel the runtime. I was just kind of like looking at giant robots fucking each other up. Like my sense of time was weird when I was 14, and I watch a lot of long movies, and I don't watch long movies like that.
I felt
I do
you kind of
nowadays.
feel it because they always have to regroup somewhere, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, after like the fourth regroup, you're just like, oh, I'm done, bro.
God.
Oh yeah, they're kind of like all
There's like
over
now
the
they're
place.
at the train station. Okay, great. And it's like let's do a bunch of talking because you have to get ready for a bunch of talking scenes that it's not gonna add to anything. I hate that feeling in a Michael Bay movie when it's like, oh, after the action scene, it's like, oh, here we go. We're gonna
Oh,
do
the fucking
the talking scenes now.
yeah, the talking scenes.
Big chase.
It was
It's not gonna involve the freaking robots, is it? They're gonna be in the background the whole time. No.
What's
Yeah.
crazy is that I used the bathroom twice, and I actually just waited for the time where they were cut to the humans. I'm like, okay, bathroom time. All right. The next 50 minutes of awesomeness. Humans. All right, bathroom time.
The effects got noticeably worse, in my opinion.
Yes.
In this one,
Yes.
they weren't as clean, which is weird because the designs are actually cleaner. They're not as
Yeah, they're not as busy. And,
busy, but the effects took a down. I don't know what happened there.
and that freaking
Um,
Transformium
Oh,
crap.
that is okay. That
Yeah.
was stupid. That was dumb. That was dumb.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest. That was pretty much one of the dumber choices.
With that said, Michael Bay shines where he shines. I thought some of the action set pieces were phenomenal. The sucking up the metal and dropping it, really dumb, but man, it looked good, and he used it right, and he used it.
You
He
remember?
used it right.
Yeah.
It was
the-
so dumb, but who cares? And he was dropping dinosaurs after a while. Robo
oh my
Robo
God.
Dinosaur. Oh my god,
Oh,
yeah,
the
I forgot
Dino-
about those.
So
Yeah, those characters
Dinobots
got-
that they put.
Thank God I
all
don't give a crap about
across
those
the
characters.
marketing. They don't show up until 2 hours and 15 minutes into the film, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't have longer than 10 minutes of screen time.
They're in jail most of the time,
Which that was disappointing.
and then they
because
ran through the
movie-
highway, and that's it.
because they were every fucking where in the marketing. Like, yeah, we got Optimus Prime running a robot dinosaur. Isn't that cool? Yeah,
And
that's cool.
everyone was going crazy for Godzilla, King Kong hopping on Godzilla's back. I was, bro, we just saw Optimus on a dino's back. Okay, I think that
Yeah,
there's
but
precedent.
that
Bay
movie,
set precedent.
Go- Godzilla X Kong had 2 hours of Kong and Godzilla. The Dinobots were there for like the last fucking minute.
That's
Well, it's called Transformers, not Dinobots.
but you put them.
They're,
all throughout the
Dinobots
fucking-
are Transformers.
They are Transformers.
So they gave you Transformers.
Okay. I was about to say.
It's just like Kong and Godzilla. They gave you what they said. 2 hours. Transformers. Some of them are dinos. Some of them are cars. At least they didn't give you the college student bot.
Sure. That was still no.
Dumbest idea.
Very dumb. I was gonna say, what I personally, I think we saw, in my opinion, I think we saw like the best use of Michael Bay's explosion was in this movie when Lockdown threw that grenade, and the lava, and then the explosions
Yeah.
came out of the lava. That was the most beautiful fireworks display I have ever seen Michael Bay do, and the sound on that too. That was freaking sick.
His sound effects are always great. He always adds a new one in there that's just like, wow.
But yeah, that was probably the greatest explosion that Michael Bay has ever done. Was that one shot, dude? I was mesmerized. I don't think there was anything that topped that. That was I haven't seen anything like that. That was incredible.
The one in part 2 is technically the biggest explosion until I think Spectre.
That airstrike scene.
Yeah, the airstrike in part 2 when they're all running.
Hmm.
Tell me that's not the flare. That's the biggest in Guinness.
Probably the biggest one, but as far as like the best use of it, I think it's that grenade.
Sure. Most creative explosion. Give it that
Yeah.
one.
But yeah, I'm sorry. You said the Autobots in here are terrible. Terrible. I hate all of them. Even what was that one you mentioned?
The
Hound.
samurai one had
Hound.
the best joke. The
Hound.
samurai, dude, there was a legitimately funny joke. The samurai one said, "I thought it was going to turn into a big car." It's like,
I thought it was
Giant car.
Big old car.
that's a great joke. That's a
What?
great joke. I don't care what.
Like
anyone
at the
says.
very
That's
least,
so
like,
stupid. That's like
like,
perfect for Michael Bay. That's a
we're-
perfect
like,
dumb joke.
I see it as okay. This is the fourth film. They're kind of, they're kind of starting over. We're gonna reduce it back to 5. At the very least,
It's absolutely insane. They go from a farm to China. Like
like
Yeah, like what?
the geographical like scale in this movie is absolutely ridiculous.
No sense.
like at least the Autobots have some form of personality because they're not like
Yeah.
yes they're
like,
still
annoying personality, sure.
yeah, but there's still personality just in general because like there's still special effects, there's still giant special effects with little to no backstory or whatsoever. But at least Hound, I'm responding to him because they got John Goodman and he's kind of giving it his all, I guess. And
The
he's just like,
samurai
"You're
was
all
fun too.
gonna die,
I'm like a fat ballerina.
ballerina."
Like they just told John Goodman to say whatever he wanted in the room. Like, when
Right.
he was recording these lines, he was just like
They don't give him
just
yeah,
improv.
yeah. There's no script. Just go crazy. I don't fucking know.
Here's your
but
fortune cookie.
Here's your fucking cookie.
What the heck?
Come here, little punk.
These jokes, man.
Racist.
Oh yeah,
What, man?
I know these
Oh,
jokes.
yeah.
They all have the same type of jokes too. All the Transformers, they're great.
I'm not the biggest fan of the design of Optimus Prime, honestly. I mean, it's clean looking. Just
He looks
I
more
don't
like
know.
Ultra Magnus than Optimus Prime.
He kind of does. I mean, he kind of. I can see him as like a different character, like, but he looks cool. I don't like Bumblebee's design, honestly, because I don't know why they have him look like Stinger.
I hate it. I
Like,
absolutely hate it.
Even like the little ninja stars on his back, like he don't use it for shit.
And let me say this: character assassination of Optimus Prime. The Peaceful Warrior is gone. When he freaking said, I don't know who's behind this, but when I find out what human is responsible, he's going to die. I'm like, I want to leave the theater then. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. No. And then he actually does kill a human at the end. Character assassination. What the?
That's so cool.
I hated it.
It's so cool.
Absolutely hated it.
We call them Murder Prime.
Murder
I think
Prime.
it has
Or
I think it has cool guy on guy action with Mark Wahlberg versus that dude in the high rise, right? And they're
Sure.
jumping and they're like throwing freaking Chinese air conditioners at each other.
You're
That
throwing
shit
a
was-
football at him, even though this
That
is
shit
China.
was fire. No, but that was like legitimately suspenseful. You felt the vertigo and stuff from Mark Wahlberg's perspective. I thought that was a really well done scene. I don't know why it's in a Transformers movies, but
I don't
thanks.
know either. And does anybody
It's a
buy
good
Mark-
scene, but it has nothing to do with anything.
Does anybody buy Mark Wahlberg as
Cool
an
guy.
inventor?
No.
I don't. I remember what was his name?
Cade
Caden?
Yeager. Cade
Cade.
Yeager.
Jaeger. Is it? I keep thinking of him as a pilot. Like what?
Like
He was
what-
like, it was so cringe. He's like this guy. He's a Texas farmer trying to build like, just make anything. Like he doesn't even have any interest or any. Just I want to build something. It's like what kind of like half-ass character? Like nothing in there. There was nothing there. It was like Mark Wahlberg as a Texas robot maker. Like what the fuck was he? Just a builder? I just want to make an invention. I'm from Texas.
You can't even make a robot that can paint the
That
wall
was
properly.
insane. That was insane casting. That's what I'm saying with Michael Bay. It's like he used to like cast people. Now he's just casting famous people and shit.
It doesn't make any
A
sense.
Texas guy that wanted an inventor. Like oh my god,
Inventor. Yeah.
that was so crazy. That was like crazy. That's some kids movie '90s shit. That's what I mean by like right. That's like that's like the dad that made the shit that shrunk the kids.
yeah.
He's like, he's just an inventor in the house. Like, that's some Disney 90s shit. Like, Michael Bay's immature as shit. That's why we gotta love him. It's like, only him would cast Mark Wahlberg as a guy, Texas, who mentions it all the time, who's very proud of it. He's running around telling people, like, hey, we got a thing about the shit. We got a saying here in Texas. Like, he's threatening people with that shit. Like, he's proud of it. It's like, this is insane. I love it. Michael Bay's a madman.
He certainly is.
And this deserves Let's Fucking Go just for the beginning of the insanity.
This ain't going any higher than Wipe My Ass. Like, nah, bruh.
But the action was so good.
I don't care at this point. Like, it's a given that Michael Bay is
It's sucking up
good
metal and
acting.
dropping it.
Give me story and characters that I care about. I don't care about how good the action is at this
But
point.
it's sucking up the
because
metal
it's
and
a
dropping it on them in China. They went
No.
to China. The Texas inventor, the Texas inventor with a Boston accent got flown to
Like,
China.
What the fuck? What is
Got
this
flown to
movie?
China.
No.
What a movie.
You
This
can
guy's-
wipe
this
my ass
deserves
with the Bud
Criterion.
Light product placement too. that
Holy
was
shit.
freaking insulting. That was insulting. Are you kidding me right now? No, wipe my ass.
What's going on, Chris?
What movie would be harder to evaluate from a psych?
Wow, this list is disgusting. Armageddon on top. I keep forgetting how young y'all are.
All right, old man.
Armageddon not on top. What are you talking, dude? The Rock is older than Armageddon, and it's on top. What are you talking about, age?
Yeah, get out of here with that.
I haven't seen Armageddon, so I don't know. So
Armageddon's fine there next to Bad Boys. They're fine companions.
Okay,
Those are great
so-
movies, by the way. Some good ass shit, man. You're gonna
Yeah,
say they're not
it's
good
a-
ass shit?
It's a good ass shit. There you go.
They're good ass shit.
All right,
man.
so Dress from the Age of Extinction.
Just rent it. Come
I'm
on.
kidding. I'm fucking kidding. I'm kidding. So.
Dude, you can't say wipe my ass with that action.
Wipe my ass.
No, that's
Right.
bad. No,
So,
Dude,
so
it's so disrespectful to the
Action-
action unit.
action without compelling characters and good story is visual noise to me. And you already
So-
massacred my
I
childhood
don't give a.
at this point. You
DL,
massacred my childhood.
you piss me off because you don't care about character. Otherwise, you'd be watching all the foreign shit with good character.
Oh, but then you
Not
want
fucking Transformers.
then you want to defend this because it's a good action.
That's
It's a
because
good
the
action.
intent is like,
That's
if
what makes
Michael,
it
okay,
great.
I told you the standards. Like, okay, what did Michael Bay add to it? What did he not do? What did he do? It's like, okay, in terms of action, this is probably the second best after Dark of the Moon in terms of creativity. In terms of action. Remember when he flipped the bus?
I don't care.
He was sucking up metal and dropping it.
Do you realize I was tuned out by the time we got to the Dinobots?
No, watch. Okay, can you watch the movie? You guys got to do perp cuts. That's your problem. That's what all of you too, Chris. It's not
What
an
are you
age
talking
problem.
about?
It's a awesome. Like I edit my Michael Bay movies, and when I watch them, I have a perp cut where I cut off all the fucking bullshit. And I kind of I
you
cut out
don't even have to go
character.
there.
I cut out scenes. I'm like, this is useless. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh,
That's
you don't
why I
even have to do
rewatch
that.
them a lot
I
of the
literally
times.
can go on
I love 'em.
YouTube and watch clips of just the action in Transformers.
Yes.
But if I watch the entire film, I'm miserable. I'm freaking miserable. I can only take
And you're rating the
Transformers
film. Yes. And you're
in
rating the film.
those
You're right.
Yes, I'm judging
Okay,
the film. I'm
and
not
you're
judging him on the segments of good
You're right.
action. Like, no, we're talking about the entire
That
film.
is your standard. Yes. Got it.
Yes.
Mine is action, baby. Let's go. This one's good. This is Rental. I mean, yeah, it's Rental.
Okay.
It's not gonna be up there with Bad Boys and Armageddon, but
You better not put it up there with Bad Boys and Armageddon.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do I put this? Again?
It's some more bullshit. That balances out. There you go.
Cool. All right. There you go. Transformers: Age of Extinction. Some old bullshit. And
What?
You gave it rent.
I thought it was gonna
I gave
turn
it
into a
white
giant
ass.
car.
I thought it was a giant car.
Yeah, that's so good.
Hey,
That's so good.
when a movie gets a wipe my ass,
Take that shit. Wipe the booty with it. Look at it.
I need that drop. I need
Why do you look at it like that? Damn, motherfucker was sniffing.
yeah, I forgot which day it was, like clip. I gotta take that shit. So, okay, so let's take another break until we get to the worst one.
The movie Hillary doesn't want you to see.
13 hours. So I think I watched this one. I think I kind of like it. I think but I feel like this is way too long because this is another 2.5 hour Michael Bay film, and it's about the siege of Benghazi, which as a story, which would have been great. This would have been like one of more better Michael Bay, but I feel like there's way too much shit that's been in it. I haven't seen this one in a while. I think I watched this was on Showtime at the time, like Showtime when it was aired on that network. I remember liking it. I just couldn't get that much into it because of how bloated the runtime is. Because I feel like it would have cut down to like an hour and 45 minutes or at least like an hour and 50. This would have been a really good movie. But there's a lot of like, this is a type of film that my grandfather watches, like that military type movie that my grandfather would watch all the time. Like even like down to like even people with fucking pop bellies can watch this shit all the time.
I think
So-
Master Chief Halo's in this one too.
The dude that played with the dude from Halo.
Yeah, I think he's in this. I think he's the one wearing the shorts.
Interesting. But the action is pretty intense, honestly. It's,
Yeah. And very brutal. People get cut up in this movie, man. Especially with
Right.
that 50 cal. There's this one part where literally torn in half in one shot. You see these guys shooting, and then like this 50 cal or something, and then you see like their top half fall off. And you're just like, whoa! There was people getting cut up in this movie. It's probably one of Michael Bay's most brutal movies, gore wise.
and that's I don't know.
I think this is the better Pearl Harbor in terms of real events and stuff like that. I think he did a much better job. He didn't put a freaking love story behind it.
I can
tell
see
you.
that. I can see that. I have not seen Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
like I said, but I can see this being better because it's pretty much taking. I think this is a more recent event because I know I'm pretty sure he talked with the actual people that actually lived through this event because it was also based on a book. of the same name.
Yeah.
So I can, if I were to give this I'll give this like a rent, because if it wasn't for how bloated and long this is, I'll probably would have. I'll give it like at least like a very low some good ass shit, but it's just way too long for its own good. So, who wants to go first? I don't care.
I mean, yeah, I pretty much agree. Like, I do think this is a good movie, and I wasn't expecting much from it because I was just beaten down by the Transformers films and Pain and Gain. But this was surprisingly a very mature film for Michael Bay. I thought the action, as you said, it was gripping, it was intense, it was brutal. Um, the characters actually was pretty compelling. I thought John Krasinski was great in it. But yeah, it is way too long. I felt like I was in there for an eternity. If this movie was like half an hour shorter, at least, this could be just an hour and 45 minutes. Let's be real. Just get to the point and get out. But yeah, it's just rent the damn thing. If it was shorter, it would be some good ass shit.
Oh, come on. You could just make the edit yourself. It's more bang for your buck. No, I think this is some good ass shit. I think this is Bay doing what Bay does well. I think the action is pretty well done. Sound effects is good, and he always adds a little bit of sauce. He adds a little bit of that Michael Bay sauce. So, like, he added a car chase that was fucking pretty insane in there. You know, there's like throwing Molotov cocktails. They're like freaking using shotguns against each other. Like, oh, it was just insanity. I really like this movie. Again, maybe it's because I've seen my cut more. I'm trying to judge these on the actual cut.
Now let me watch your cut then, because I'm
Yeah,
sure
because I just cut all the fucking control room shit. Like, oh, you don't need all that bullshit. You're good. You're good to go. Just all action.
I probably need to watch the movie again because I haven't seen it in a little while.
I think it's good. I think it works.
Yeah, I can see it being good. I just feel like there's movies that are like 2.5 hours long. I can watch like in a heartbeat. Like, come on now. But sometimes a movie gets very self-indulgent.
I am
and it's
cheesing. I still think it's good. I am judging it the way it came out.
Yeah, because like the movie, sometimes movies get very self-indulgent, and it's just like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
But personally, I still think this is good. If it was just a little bit shorter, then we would have like a very good Michael Bay film, like an actual good one, like not like a guilty pleasure, like an actual good movie. So,
Right.
yeah, I'll give it a. Oh no, yeah, you gave it a round, DL.
Yeah.
Would you give it, Perp?
I gave it some good ass shit.
If I wanna, you know what? I'll move this ahead of Dark of the Moon. To be fair.
Okay.
Like a high rental. we got beef now, Chris.
What,
Bring
you
it
know-
on, brother.
I said some good ass shit. You think that's let's fucking go? Damn.
Okay. Oh boy. Last one.
What do
We
you mean
got
last
3 more to
one?
go.
You
Well-
mean the last Transformers movie?
Yeah.
This is the most this is gonna be the biggest fight. Let's go.
All right.
Uh,
I'm ready for a
it's-
bloodbath.
Yeah. Well, to you guys, I mean, every franchise, if
Has its thorns.
yeah, yeah, every look when you're a movie that goes to more than 2 films, there's gonna be one that you like the least, and this is one of those movies for me. Transformers: The Last Night. I really, this is one of those movies where, to be honest, it's gonna sound weird to say, it's pretty much the most dull of them all, and that's saying a lot to me. It's pretty dull, just mostly just because trying to it's like where you're trying to shoehorn a continuity in an already fractured continuity that doesn't work well, and it makes it even worse when they're in the castle when they look have all these pictures of these Transformers that have been there for like throughout the entire history, none of them makes zero fucking sense. There was a picture of Starscream in his F-22 Raptor form in a World War I picture. There was a picture of Ironhide in his GMC form back in like I forgot what time, like the 15th century. This shit doesn't make any fucking sense. And it will make any sense because it's just so fucking stupid to me. Then the whole like the movie markets the shit out of Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, but the fight is going to be a very emotional fight, which lasted like less than 2 minutes. On top of Bumblebee getting his voice back, which didn't he already do that in the first movie?
Yes.
And he's like, "I'm Bumblebee. You're old. I have not heard your voice since Cybertron Fall. Did you have short-term memory loss, dude? What the hell? Yeah, that part was like, really? You didn't remember a single thing 4 movies ago? Stupid. I know continuity schmontinuity is a thing in those movies, but something like that, where it was a big moment in the last part of the first movie, all of a sudden it's just like gone out the window. People suddenly, I haven't heard your voice in Cybertron Fall. Bullshit detector number 1. And just, oh no, it's just, yeah, it's I remember I liked it, but the more I watched it, I was like, I don't know. It was at the point where I'm just like, I'm kind of glad they got rid of Bay, but I wish they could have got rid of him sooner.
Yes.
Because it's starting to crack for me with Michael Bay. I will still watch Michael Bay in terms of the Transformers. It's starting to kind of crack for me up until we get Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast and the coming Transformers 1, where they're trying to get back on track and shit, trying to make good Transformers movies. Hopefully we keep that consistency going. But yeah, man, it's just there's some things I like about it. It's the most gorgeously shot Transformers film from Michael Bay. 5 movies in, and you know how to have a camera use a tripod. Who would have thunk? And I saw this in like Cinema XD. The movie was beautifully shot, all these grand scales. It's like, it's almost crazy that my least favorite Transformers film have the best amount of shots. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like I said, I'm not, as much as I like these movies, there's always going to be one that you like the least. There's always going to be one you like the least. I'm not going to like, oh my God, these are masterpieces. Like some people on Twitter like to pretty much say, and they can have their opinion, don't get me wrong, but it's feel like it's kind of a bit of a stretch to be like, man, this is a masterpiece. And you hear and you see people on YouTube saying why Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is a misunderstood masterpiece, and that exists. That video exists.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
Yes, it does exist. I'll send you a screenshot, DL. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for me, last night is pretty much just very, very like a high bullshit. A very high bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, who wants to go first?
I'll get myself out the way. This is an abomination. Absolute abomination. I was already tuned out to this franchise. I was really even reluctant to see this, and it was worse than I thought it was going to be. This movie is fucked continuity wise. It just doesn't care anymore. And not only does it mess up the continuity again, but it It has 3 to 4 different storylines trying to mix together into one, and it doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me there has been Transformers in medieval times with mechanical dragons, okay? And then Bumblebee helped kill Hitler, okay? You had Transformers help Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad, okay? You had
That's
Transformers
wild, too.
yeah, you had Transformers aligned with Frederick Douglass. Okay, no, sure, all right, all right. Megatron is back. Why? I don't know. He's just back. The Autobots are still terrible in this. The whole them teasing Nemesis Prime, waste of time, because it only lasted like no less than 5 minutes. Mark Wahlberg is terrible. Anthony Hopkins Sir Anthony Hopkins does the best with what he's given, but it is garbage. The Wiccans, what the heck is that? There's a nation of Wiccans, and Sam was a part of it apparently. I didn't know that, but okay, sure. There's a whatever. The Earth is Unicron. Fuck you. What? Just why? Just why? Michael Bay didn't care anymore. He didn't care. Is the action good? Yes. The visual effects good? Yes. But I don't even care anymore. I don't care how good this movie looks. Everything is visual noise at this point. I don't care about anything that's happening on the screen. And it's such a shame because these movies help Transformers get into the pop culture. Just imagine how much these films blew up if they were good movies. You thought they made a bunch of money as shit films. If they were great films, they would have broke the bank. They would have made Avatar money. But no, you hand the franchise over to a man that doesn't even like the source material, and it shows.
Do you know what's funny about that? So I had a talk. I was at work. I had a talk with a friend of mine who's also a fan of Transformers. Right? He's a Transformers fan. It's funny you say that as to, why you give a man like Michael Bay of Transformers, which wouldn't, don't give a shit, which if they were to be good movies, they would have broke the bank, right?
Yes.
Tell me, this didn't click with my brain. My brain was a little fractured when he said this. If they didn't get Michael Bay to make these Transformers movies, they would have sucked.
Oh, Travis Knight would disagree with you.
Yeah, I'm like, really though? I can actually see somebody else making a Transformers movie that doesn't need to have Michael Bay printing all over it. I'm like, I was like he's a fan, he's a fan of the entire franchise, but I don't see him saying, I can't agree with him saying, oh, Bay is the only. Yes, did he technically save Transformers? Yes, but there could have been a better person, a better director to make these movies, and if they were good, you're right, they would have made $2 billion at the box office. So it's almost a little. I was like, that kind of broke my brain. It's like, really? You really do think so? I don't know. But
They're only saying that because Michael Bay was the first and only person that was the first person to try it.
right.
You would have
Like-
said this about anybody who did the first Transformers movie.
Exactly. Like if you get someone like I don't know, I'm just throwing out like James Cameron to do a Transformers movie, $2 billion. James Cameron, I don't know, Steven Spielberg, I don't know, like any other director other than Michael Bay.
Like he's yes, is he good with the action and the spectacle? Yes, but he's not the only director that can do that. That can bring Transformers to life the way that they should. And now it's gotten to a point where, yes, he's doing fantastic action scenes in these movies, but nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about that anymore because they have been tuned out with how bad the writing is and how bad the character development is in these films. The action scenes aren't saving that anymore. And now this is the first Transformers film to underperform at the box office.
Was it?
Yes, it underperformed.
Yeah, it did
Cool.
underperform.
Like,
Like,
did it profit? So it didn't profit.
No.
How
It
much
made
did it make?
money. Yeah, it made money. It made 600 million, but with an over $200 million budget, no.
the movie
Yeah.
cost $260 million. That's the most expensive
Wow.
of them, and it lost Paramount $100 million on the theatrical release.
All right. Well, I think this is the most insane movie Michael Bay has ever made. It is absolutely all over the place. That's a compliment if I said it's all over the place. This thing is like I don't like. It opens up with King Arthur, spectacular sequence. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins is insane. Everything's insane. They have a butler. It's insane. Everything about this movie is insane. I don't know how Michael Bay does it. I don't know how he got away with this one. Personally, I think this movie should be admired for how fucking crazy it is. Honestly, the fact it's like it feels like so many movies put together, like multiple movies. One and like it's also insane because of like the choices made. Like one of you guys, I forget which one, was mentioning all the crazy plot points of how Transformers has been involved in history, but for some reason they choose the Nazi one to show. Like they don't. So it's like there's no consistency. It's like
Bumblebee, bro.
Yeah.
The fact that it was all over the marketing. Even the poster has Bumblebee during the World War II fight. That was all over the fucking marketing. They had a toy of him as that World War II car, and it's like, and it doesn't line up the fact that
there's nothing there because it doesn't even there's no reason for that. There's no, because you were already telling us the story. You weren't giving us any visuals to the story you were telling us. Why that one? The cynical person in me has to say, like, they put it there for the trailer, and Michael Bay knew. It was like, yeah, they're gonna let me do this one. It's like any other producer with a movie or anything would have said, like, guys, why are you putting that one scene in there? Like, no, that has nothing to do with anything. Take it out. But they knew. It was like Michael Bay probably knew. It was like, yeah, they could put this in the trailer. They show freaking Transformers blowing up Nazis. Of course it's gonna get asses in seats. And Michael Bay, if you watch the making ofs, which I've seen every single making of, and they're very extensive, good featurettes too. Michael Bay knows what's going in the trailer. He could call it. He's very good with that. If there's one thing you should always give Michael Bay credit for, is that he comes up with visuals, imagery, moments that are fantastic for trailers. You put it all this without context. You put a little good music in there, it's gonna get asses in seats. He's amazing with trailer fodder. And he's become so good with it that he can even call it out, which he does in the Transformers, the original one. He calls out we're going to get that trailer shot now of Scorponok going after you guys. We're going to go to slow motion. It's going to be a trailer shot. Watch. It's going to be he's like calling it. And it ended up being in the trailer. He was right. He's like that good. He knows his shit. So last night, I think is like, it's even crazier than the second one. Like, this one wasn't written in writer strike. That's what's amazing last night. Because the second one is at least more or less, I don't know. That's a great discussion. Which one's more nonsensical fucking crazy? The second one or last night? I don't know. But last night I personally like because it involves King Arthur, and that shit's crazy. It's like, that's enough. Now you're involving like other country lore. Like, it's not even history anymore. Shit's made up characters and shit. So, man, I'd say I want to put it on Rented because it belongs in a museum. It's one of those. It's fucking crazy.
Wipe my ass.
Wipe that.
Take that shit. Wipe the booty with it. Look at it.
I saw this in the theater, dude. I was laughing so hard a lot. I had a great time with it. It was fucking bonkers. And Bumblebee can put himself back together. What the hell? When you learn to do that?
I just couldn't. I was too angry at that point. I was like,
Bullshit. How that way.
So yeah, it's just like, and it's also kind of a fucking obnoxious too, because once we got Bumblebee, we got Rise of the Beast. Those are better movies. It just annoys the shit out of me when you have some people who want that continuation of The Last Night, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Because it's weird to me. Because I don't really care about the Unicron because we already got Unicron and Rise of the Beast, so it kind of checks out.
Man.
And
Unicron
it's
was better
like-
in this one.
shut up.
It was. And you know it too. That's why.
like everybody wants, dude. I see people saying hashtag restore the Bayverse. Why?
No, dude. Hashtag give me their names, man. I need to meet up with my people.
Your people? Oh
I found my community.
Oh, no, we're not doing
I
that.
didn't know they
Yeah.
existed.
We ain't doing that.
That's what
No,
the internet
yeah,
was
no.
created for, assholes.
No, there's people though. Those people.
Show
that
me
actually
my
exist.
people. Restore Bayverse.
Yeah, but he's still a producer on these movies. Still, you know that. Beyond Last Night, he's still a producer on the freaking Transformers 1 movie. He's still involved, but that doesn't mean shit. He's cutting the check. I don't think he's putting any input
Yeah.
at all. So, but enough about Transformers. Finally,
Finally, we're
thank
done.
God.
Well, he's still
All
got that crazy energy for this next one though.
Yeah. Let's.
Oh, yeah.
Madman
yeah.
energy's alive and well in Six Underground. let me tell you.
Let's.
God.
6 Underground, man. This
I'm gonna
is,
tell. I'm gonna tell my kids that's the Ayer cut.
What? What?
Six Underground is the Ayer cut.
It's
You
the
heard it here
Ayer-
first.
Oh my god.
Okay. So yeah, this is I like this one. It's stupid as fuck. This is another guilty pleasure, dude. But mostly because of the fucking 20-minute car chase. I was like when I first watched it, I looked at the fucking timer on Netflix. I was like, dude, this is like 15 minutes in. This keeps on fucking going. It keeps on fucking going. And like, what do you get when you get Michael Bay on Netflix with Ryan Reynolds? You get some crazy ass fucking shit. Because since Michael Bay has a lot more freedom this time around, yeah, he's gonna go full on retard on this thing.
Oh my god, disavow.
He's gonna go full bonkers on this bitch. The fucking 20-minute car chase is it's fucking entertaining, but good god, I was like, there's so much anarchy that's happening. And it's loud, it's frenetic, and it's fucking preposterous.
It's also like his weird. The structure of this movie is very weird, very bizarre.
Well, you say like it's his weirdest movie. What's like what's the weirdest movie so far, Perp?
Man, I don't know. Pain and Gain probably, because they only had one explosion, and that's very weird for him.
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, I probably Six Underground in many ways.
Yeah.
I don't know because it had it even started like in this. He's like Tony Stark or something, and he fakes his own death for the goodness of his heart. Like this all. That's the thing. Okay, this should have been Bad Boys 2 again, but you know what's keeping it from being Bad Boys 2? Because there's a lot of shit in there that's very similar. The mean-spiritedness, all this stuff, but it also has this fucking phony ass heart shit. That it's just like that Bad Boys 2 didn't bother to have any fucking heart. None of that bullshit. It was all cynicism the whole time. And that's what you are, Michael Bay. Be proud because you make good movies like that. But this one tried to fool you with like they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. We're just superhero. Like it's a bullshit. Get out. Get out. That's the movie's problem.
This-
It wants you to think it has a heart. It does not have a heart.
Kind of, yeah. Well,
It even has like sad music at points when you think one of the characters is gonna die. Like, fuck off.
so this is the kind of movie that you're only just there for the action.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily care about the characters. I really I don't care about these guys. They have some personality, but you don't really care if they get shot or whatever.
The movie doesn't let you care 'cause it's so bizarrely constructed.
Yeah,
It
because like
introduces you to them, then kills you. Then the next scene is them recruiting a new guy. Like it's done in these weird chapters.
this is the kind of movie that the action scene are just designed to be put up on YouTube. Like the car chase scene. You can just put this up on YouTube, be like, no problem. You can just watch all the anarchy here and there. You don't really I don't really remember what the fucking movie was about.
They need
like,
to,
I watched
it was
this
kind of
movie-
like Expendables. They need to take down a corrupt government official in an island or something.
I mean, they gotta kill some guy that's in Europe or whatever, but
Yeah.
I don't really remember. It's just these characters are not that. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is being Ryan
Such a
Reynolds,
weird
so
movie,
yeah, he's just being Ryan Reynolds in a fucking Michael Bay film. But other than that, it's like you're kind of just going through in between these action scenes, and it's just like, can we just get to the point? Because you don't really care. But when they do come up, like the skyscraper scene was fun. The dude hopping off like little buildings where and the music starts blazing in was fun.
Yeah, the music was especially cringe in this one. I have to add, so, like in the car chase, they had some rock and roll music. I didn't like that. And then in the freaking parkour chase, he had that freaking meme song, "Run, run." I was like, Michael, that's great, bro. This is like, dude, that was like a 2000 like 2011 meme. Oh my god, what is it doing in this movie? No, Ryan Reynolds should have been on his ass for that one. Should have been like, yo, don't put that in there. Like YouTube, like, come on, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, this is like pretty much Michael Bay at his. Well, this is like 2 hours and. Oh, this is just almost 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's a little. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? It was
Yeah,
2
that's
hours.
really
Only
long.
2 hours and 10 minutes.
I expected it to be a little.
Yeah,
longer,
that is actually a fucking short ass Michael Bay movie. 2 hours and 10 minutes. That
I
is short
expected
as
it to be
hell.
Longer.
10 minutes. Keep in mind, 10 minutes is credits, includes credits, and that's how
Yeah,
long credits
so-
are. So
so
it's really
two
just
hou-
2
so-
hours.
So just 2 hours. I was like, I looked at the timer. I was like, oh, that's just 2 hours.
And a lot of bang for your buck in this one. A lot of action scenes. And dude, oh my god, yes. Let's talk about the sauce in this one. What's the special, Michael? What did he add? Well, like a lot of filmmakers don't grow. Like, why do we get upset with Rebel Moon? They don't add anything to their shit. All right, Michael Bay does add shit. He does. Okay, in Six Underground, dude, the concentration that man had to bodies getting mauled up inside cars was like crazy. It was like he put all the effects work that would normally get into like, I guess, the cars changing into robots. He put it into bodies inside cars getting absolutely destroyed, dude. Like people were like flying out of the cars. Like you'd see like that one dude had that shit in his neck after the car gets cut in half. Then he just like he keels over and he has like all his blood and shit in his neck. Like people were getting fucked up like 13 Benghazi style in this movie, but in a car. I was like, wow, I was blown away by that. And then the fucking again, they're sucking up metal and dropping it. He did the metal shit, but he did it like way crazier, way more comic book like fun, like not like an action spectacle, but like a legit like fucking tactical crazy shit move. I love that shit. That was fun as hell. He was having a lot of fun with this one, I think.
Certainly
But none of it made sense. And the structure, again, the plot points, all it was abysmal. Like I couldn't believe like there was no structure to this movie. It was just like random scenes happening, random.
Yep.
Just to kill a guy.
Yep.
All right,
Music video editing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right, I'm curious about your thoughts on Six Underground, DL.
I mean, what did you expect me to say? This movie's terrible. But I will say, like, you could tell that Michael Bay's having a ball. Like, I haven't seen Michael Bay this unhinged since Bad Boys 2. I'm gonna be honest with you. It is brutal. It is insane. It is has a like this 20-minute car sequence. I'm like, dude, I wonder how long it took for him to construct that entire sequence. Because like that was insane. Like limbs are flying, a bunch of other antics going on. Like what the heck?
I like to think Michael Bay, like, I think, I'm speculating, by the way, that he likes to take, like, movie shots at other films and stuff. And when I saw that green car in Paris, I'm like, bro, is he taking a shot at Fast and Furious? The
Yes.
franchise and stuff?
Yes.
Right? Like, and then the driver, I was like, bro, is he taking a shot at Baby Driver?
Maybe,
That dude's dressed like Baby Driver.
probably.
I was like, he takes little shots. Because remember, in Armageddon, he took that shot at Godzilla. When Godzilla was opening up that same day, or that same summer.
But yeah,
He
they're
takes shots, man. That's
It
funny.
certainly does. Yeah, there's no story, there's no characters. It is a sequence of events randomly happening. That's what this movie is. And they try to stitch together to make some sort of coherent thing, but it's not. It's just not.
It's like, how dare this man think like, oh, you're getting important flashbacks. All his flashbacks are just action scenes. And so they feel so inappropriate. It's like we get to Ryan Reynolds' flashback, and it's like, oh, it's a huge bombing with these awesome planes and all this shit. You gotta get the little girl out. And then it's like, oh, you get to the flashback of the other one. It's like, oh, this fucking parkour chase. It's like, bro, it's like it's so obvious. It's like even the flashbacks have action scenes in them. It's like you're not getting flashbacks. I thought they were designed to get like something out of the characters.
It's
Out of
supposed
character,
to.
you know? Not just flashback because we needed an action scene here.
Yeah.
Crazy. He's insane, man. Michael Bay, that's why I love the man. He's an auteur. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it certainly does.
So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So, in terms for me, I like Six Underground, but for the action, I don't really give a shit about. You really like the middle parts being between action. You don't remember much. You don't remember these characters so much, so you don't really care.
I've
really
watched
give a
this
shit.
movie. I've watched this movie over and over again. I really don't remember some scene. Like I really can't. Like I remember the action scenes specifically, and I remember how they go down. I can't remember the transitional scenes.
Yeah,
I know
you
one time they were
only-
dressed like tennis players, and I was like, oh, I remember they dressed weird
Oh.
sometimes.
Okay, I think I remember one. There is this one.
Like, and I've seen
This
it
is-
over and over again.
There's this one scene. I don't know if you guys remember this. There's this one out of pocket joke in the movie where Ryan Reynolds and Corey Hawkins were like spying in this fucking facility, and then you have this old guy who has this a mug, carrying a mug, and it's this picture, and it's like of an older woman, and it's like, hey, is that your wife? And he goes, that's my daughter. I fucking laughed, and I fucking laughed because of how absurd that fucking scene was. I was like, what? What did
Freaking
you
bad,
say?
man.
That's,
That's my daughter.
I was like, it's an old guy, and it's a picture of an older woman, assuming that's his wife. And he goes, that's my daughter. And I fucking burst out laughing because it was like,
Michael
what
Bay's a
the?
weirdo.
That is the
Yeah.
kind of humor that just
I love him.
the gift that keeps on giving. Like,
Are we renting this thing?
I would say it's a rental for me.
Yeah, the action's just way too good and out there, and it's just bonkers.
I'm
What do you
getting
think?
some more bullshit.
Again, the one
Some more bullshit.
really.
It's a terrible movie. Like I'm sorry, visual noise. That's all it is to me. It's entertaining visual noise, but it's visual noise.
I'll put this like all the way down.
Yeah, do a rental. I think it's
Yeah.
before Pain and Gain.
Wait, what? Where's the Panda Gay right now? Wait.
Right here, rental.
Pain and Gain's before it. The order also
Oh
goes.
no, I watched Six Underground before Pain and Gain.
Yeah, put it before.
You think
Pain
so?
and Gain. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would do it.
yeah.
People like Pain and Gain though. That's a cult classic for some people.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
like
get
Pain
that.
and Gain.
If you're a true Michael Bay connoisseur like me, you know that's in the bottom of his.
All right, so let's cap this off. Which I
Oh my
will
God.
say, I will say, isn't
His
it
best movie,
interesting?
which also makes it his worst movie.
I think this is his best movie.
Well,
I know.
really?
Ambulance.
I know. That's why I think it's his worst.
Ambulance. Okay, this is a very as someone that likes Michael Bay, that's out of everything. For some reason, this is pretty much his best movie, mostly because how the fuck can you make a 2 hour and 16-minute film based on three people in a fucking ambulance, a 2 hour 16-minute car chase film, and for some reason, it made me kind of care for these characters. The performances are a performance from Yahya Abdul-Mateen. He was really good. I
Yep.
like Jake Gyllenhaal. The dude, that motherfucker's crazy.
Jake
And
Gyllenhaal is good.
I like Isa Gonzalez. I like her because she's hot, but I like her character in it. And for some reason, it's like I think kind of the way it was shown of their backstories, because the way he actually shots his movies, or the way like it's just silent and the music's playing, like they're brothers. I can kind of see them being brothers, like adopted brothers and stuff. And just something about it kind of, I don't know, it's a little, it kind of clicked a little bit, like it's a little emotion, it's very, it has some emotional stuff that kind of like kind of worked for me, but it's not perfect. It's a lot of, there's a lot of dumbassery in the movie, like oh, the part when they were trying to get the, like the bleeding of that one police officer they shot. They had to freaking call somebody who was in the golf course, and like, we gotta do a whole surgery on, I'll do surgery while in a fucking car chase. Like, this is ridiculous. And don't shoot, they got my fucking dog. That like there are parts in the movie they could have fucking stopped them, but they can't. It's like, sniper, oh, I missed. They kept on going. Like, how did you miss? Shoot the damn tires. And the fucking spray painting, how is fucking spray painting the ambulance green gonna do anything? It's gonna cause you more attention.
Yeah.
But-
that was really dumb.
But yeah, there is some stupid moments there.
There's some
but,
really stupid.
but in terms
this is
of,
a French film. This is a remake.
But in terms of, like, for me, from performances to some of the characters, some of the music, I mean, I don't know, it kind of worked for me. I actually really like, and entertainment value as well. I mean, a fucking 2 hour car chase. If you keep me entertained, I'm there. So, yeah, that means I'm gonna be bold. It's a good ass shit. I'm being bold here. I may be the only one in the room, but we'll see. Dia, what you think of Ambulance?
It's another movie that I didn't expect much from. I was almost done with Michael Bay after the Transformers films. And I didn't even see this in theaters. I waited till it was on Peacock. And wasn't even looking for it on Peacock. I was like looking at other stuff, and I saw Ambulance on there, and I was like, okay, well, at least I don't have to pay for this. So let's see how good or bad this movie is. I thought it was good. I did not expect it. I enjoyed this film. Now, it's not perfect. It does have problems. There are so many drone shots in this movie. They don't need all those drone shots. And yeah, there's dumb stuff like painting the ambulance green, and there's so many other ways they could have stopped the ambulance that they don't do. But what really surprised me is the characters, man. the characters. I actually cared about what was going on. I cared about what happens to them. I once again felt the urgency of the situation, the tension. It's back, you know? It's like, and I didn't think they could keep my attention for over 2 hours of these guys driving throughout the city in an ambulance, but they actually did. And I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but this movie actually made me shed a tear at the end. A Michael Bay film.
This is absolutely insanity. What is going on here?
A
Jesus
Michael
is
Bay
crazy.
film
You're a
actually
farce.
did this. Like, what was the scene specifically when they were? What was it when Yaya's like wife was in danger or something like that? Like he held him at gunpoint. They were holding people at gunpoint, and I actually was on the edge of my seat when that was happening. And it's like when he reunited with his wife and stuff like that. That's when I started. That's when a tear came out of my eye. I'm like,
Oh,
"Are you
man.
serious right now? Am I actually
That's-
like getting
You're like,
getting
you were like,
emotional?"
you were like, wait, you were watching a movie and you'd be like, hold on, let me put the camera on. So you were like, this shit. Where the fuck is my screen?
Yeah, where are you? You pitch black.
Do I just literally? Oh shoot, there we
Oh,
go.
there you
Hold-
are.
What the fuck? Hold on, let me turn it back on. I'm trying to do a bit of a bit here. Like, what the hell? So you were like this and like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Okay, hold on, y'all. I said I shed a tear. I did not cry. A
Well-
tear came out of my eye. A tear came out of my eye. I wasn't.
Well, yeah, I'd be
bawling
like,
or anything.
we'd be like, what's this? What? What?
But no, literally, like the movie actually got me emotional at the end, and that goes to show you that I actually cared about these characters, and I actually cared about what happens to them. And it's like I actually wanted them to get out of this really intense situation that they were in, because like even before then, like we were making fun of it a little bit earlier about how they were trying to do like this helping the guy with the surgery thing while they were in the ambulance. That it's very over the top that they were doing this while they were driving the ambulance. But like once again, like the scene was structured very well to where it's like, like the urgency, as I said, the tension was there. They were building it up so well where I actually was like, oh man, are they actually gonna save him? Are they actually gonna save his life? Are they actually gonna be able to get this stuff in time? Like that. They did that really well in this movie. There's a lot of stuff I could pick apart, as far as like the movie being too long and like there's some over the top stuff, and like as far as logic, like there's a couple of logic gaps if you're really thinking about it. But just like, I don't know, man. I was really surprised with this movie. I really was. This is the first time a Michael Bay film made me feel these emotions. Actually made me shed a tear. So like I have to. At the very least, I have to give it some good ass shit. I got to. It's good.
Yeah, it's just it's mostly like I've always, like I said, I've always liked Bay. I didn't like you, Dia. I didn't see this when it came out in theaters. I watched it when it first came on demand on Prime Video. I rented it for like $20, and man, it was worth it. I actually ended up buying the movie. I fucking love this movie, man, because it made me feel like, damn, I haven't been watching Michael Bay in a while outside of Transformers, and it just made me just like Bay more. It just made me like Bay. Like I still like Bay. Just
Watch Pearl Harbor.
I don't know. It has to be I'm in a certain mood if I can be able to stomach 3 hours of whatever.
Well, I hate to
But-
break up the party, but I think this is the most mid Michael Bay movie ever.
So you're like an interesting guy,
Yeah.
You
I like
would
Michael Bay when he has a lot of money. This $40 million crap where he has to concentrate on characters. Like, why get a mid character movie? No, I go.
So
Who do I go to
you-
foreign films for?
So you like Michael Bay when he's expensive, not
Yes.
mid range.
Not when he's trying to pull these things off. The car chase, there were some interesting parts, but for the most part, I was so let down by the action in this movie. Oh my god! Not until the lunacy that was the gang members strap a freaking minigun into that one car. That was so stupid. I loved it.
That was very dumb.
That was, they involve all these gangsters. There's a lot of talking in this freaking movie, man. There's a lot. I know there's a lot of action, but there's also the plot is literally an action plot. Like this should have been Michael Bay's Speed. There should have been a lot more car crashes, a lot more car chases. The car, like, I understand he's working with a lower budget, but there was some stuff that did not make any sense. There was one part where their car just flies out of nowhere. It's like, where the hell did that car come from? Why did that car just fly out of nowhere? It was in the middle of the chase. You don't see any impact or anything. I don't know what the hell was going on with it.
I mean, that's Bay for you.
Yeah, I know, I guess, but at least with that one, it's like at least we get to see a Transformers shot after that car. It was like we go to the interior to these guys freaking bitching. I wasn't a fan of this one. I think the bank robbing scene was pretty good. That part was pretty good. I think that were a lot of Michael Bay's, I guess, planning went into bank robbing.
I think your audio's cutting off a little bit per.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind. You're good. You're good. You're crystal
Yeah,
clear.
the drone shots was excessive, but it was very entertaining, and some of them were kind of funny. Like, what was there a drone shot after that guy got run over? They go to a drone shot. I was like, all right.
I don't know. There were a lot of there was a lot of drone shots. It's almost like Michael Bay like first picked up a controller. Was like, wee, this is fun. Like, like a little kid and shit.
I needed a lot more action in this thing, especially with this plot line. Like, this reeked of like way more chases and stuff going on. Like, it just felt very weird. I didn't like the interior. A lot of the police talking inside vans. I'm just like, fuck, I don't care about that. It's like, I hate those control room. Like, I edit out all those freaking control room shots in the Transformers and shit and all the other movies in 13 hours. Imagine this movie. Like, they're all inside cars. Like, there's so many scenes of just cut to the people. What are we going to do about this damn ambulance? It's like, oh my God, I hate those scenes. And there was a lot of those in this. I think the acting is good. Again, this is a decent movie. I think that's the problem. It's a mid movie. It's a good B movie. I expect if you saw this on TV, you wouldn't turn it off. You'd go on with it. You'd be like, yeah, this is good. This is a good TV movie. The acting is great. One of Michael Bay's best acted movies, best character work, all that stuff. But I don't go to Michael Bay movies for that, unfortunately. I go to Michael Bay's to see destruction, chaos, and lunacy. So this one for me is mid, man. It's mid.
So,
like, have some. I don't know. I just didn't. I think it's yeah. I'll be very charitable and nice because you guys liked it a lot. So I'll say rent it for sure.
So if the movie was batshit insane with a bunch of mean spirited jokes,
or at least a bunch of car stunts, like a bunch. Like, way more than what this shit had. This was like again, I hate the little sprinkles of like one car flip or one thing like that. It was like, and then move on and then go to interior shots of people reacting. It's like, we couldn't stop it. It's like, fuck, man. It's like, I need elongated, extended action sequences, not just like, and he's very good with that. I don't know why he did this shit.
Yeah, but like I said, well, if the movie would have cost a lot more, it would have bombed a little harder.
Oh yeah, no, this was definitely the right choice, and it proves, dude, this movie, I heard it cost $40 million. Like, that's amazing for $40 million. It's an amazing achievement.
Yeah, but
and
it proves still Michael Bay.
I don't know if it flopped. I don't know about that, but either way, I think the fact that he's able to do that, like, Michael Bay is known for like the big spectacle movies, but he does low budget movies and he pulls them off for the most part.
This movie made $52.3 million. It bombed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah,
which
is
I hope
why he has to do the dummy movies.
Which I still hope he still gets work, because I still want to see more movies from him. If it's not Transformers, so like
I think he's kind of a name, man. I think he's kind of a name where a lot of actors and younger generations probably grew up with him and are like it's not how Ridley Scott is. No matter what Ridley Scott does in the box office, there's going to be people that are going to work with him and names and shit that studios give money to. So there's going to be like actors that are going to want to work with Bay. I'm surprised. Like Gyllenhaal wanted to work with Bay. That surprised me. I was like, oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I grew up with Bay with the Transformers, but I want to see his other movies.
Yeah,
that's how much I like his movies.
He's an auteur, and I think he inspired I think in many ways he inspired like J.J. Abrams style in the beginning too. JJ's done his own thing since then, but I saw a lot of Michael Bayisms in JJ's cinematography choices and stuff like that. Like even the car chase in Star Trek when he's a little kid and he robs that shit. He's in that car with that music. I'm like, bro, that looked like The Island. Remember in The Island when he's getting all those flashbacks of driving that car? They had like the same style, cinematography, all this shit. Like a lot of people have been inspired by Bay and done their own thing with it. Thank God, and that's why I think Bay has something that he's able to connect with audiences. His movies make a lot of money. I think there's a visual splendor or comfort to his movies. I think it's the way they look or something that gets people like, yeah, I'll watch it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And his trailers are always exceptional.
Yeah. And with that being said, Ambulance is a good ass shit. I'll put this between Armageddon.
Sure.
If that's fair. So, so that is the full. Here's the full tier list for Michael Bay.
3 hours and 20 minutes, the average Michael Bay length. So
it's only 3 Let's Fucking Goes.
Yeah, 3 Let's Fucking Goes.
I mean, dude, when it comes to Michael Bay, I was expecting a lot less from you guys, honestly. A lot less than 3. Like this is a very good. I think this is actually very good. This makes them look good, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah.
3 Let's Fucking Goes. 3 some good ass shit. And the majority's rent it, which is mean watch it, just not in the theater. I think that's positive.
And 3 bullshits and 1 wipe my ass.
Wipe my ass.
Yeah, but the wipe my ass might be like watchable. Like you might want to see it because it's a wipe my ass. It's that fucking crazy. I recommend it for that reason. It's fucking.
I guess
crazy.
There's a morbid curiosity factor.
Yeah, that one's crazy, dude. The King Arthur shit alone in the opening is like you're gonna be entertained, bro.
Now hold on, let me get this out the way. I don't know if I want to do that
Oh my God.
as of right now.
Oh,
I don't know.
Boy. Oh boy.
I won't be for that one. Get a Snyder, bro, for that one.
I'll get probably.
Claudia.
Yeah, get Taladia.
I don't know, Anthony. I just don't want to deal with the headache because I already had a headache talking about Rebel Moon. I don't want to deal with the crazies. I don't care about the crook. Well, I don't fear the crazies. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel you fuckers, but I just don't. It's just for some reason, Snyder is just such a touchy subject, which annoys the living shit out of me. I'm just like, bro, he's just a fucking director.
I think if you do a tier list, I think it'll make Snyder look good too. It'll be like, dude, it's just like, his movies have such passionate reactions to it, whether they're good or negative, and it's only the last couple ones would be the negative ones.
Well, actually,
for the most part, I think it'll be positive.
Zack Snyder. All right.
I think for the most part, it'll look good. I think it'll get a lot up there.
These are like fewer of his. These are fewer of his movies.
That too. Yeah. Can't get a definitive.
Yeah, these are just a little fewer of his movies. So I'll probably.
He's made less than Bay, and Bay seemed like.
Well, yeah. I just, I'll consider it, but.
Yeah, I think it'll be positive. I think it'll be very positive.
Hopefully, I don't want to. It will I know
be.
We're gonna.
I'm looking at the list. I'm like, yeah, no. Everyone likes this one. Everyone likes this one. Everyone likes this one. It's only once you get to BVS, it's like it'll get tricky, and that's it. That's only like 3 movies that'll be questionable.
And like I said, I might gonna be having a few less people on the Zax one because I know we're gonna
few
be
less than 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. We were like almost 3.5 hours now, so I don't. I don't know. We
Oh, you're right.
they might
yeah.
top it. I don't know. We might top 3.5 hours for a guy with less movies than Michael Bay.
Yeah, with that many people, that's true. Yeah, we went on for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah,
It had to be done though, man. People keep talking crap about Michael Bay. I think his movies, he's made a lot of good ones, man. A lot of good ones.
Yeah.
A lot of fun ones, at least.
But yeah. So that was the Michael Bay tier list stream. This was something I wanted to do with Perp. He is a big Michael Bay stan.
Mm-hmm.
And our next tier list, well, Snyder's been throwing around, but I just don't want to deal
I
with.
just don't want it.
I'll consider it.
Who else
What?
would you consider besides Snyder? You know, be an interesting one, Jon Favreau.
Oh boy.
Actually, he hasn't done much really
Since, yeah, I guess,
since fucking Lion King, which is kind of a shame.
yeah.
Sean
Rid-
Favreau.
Ridley Scott would be good.
See, that's the thing. Like I don't want to do directors that have like more than 15 movies because some directors have a lot of movies that most people have not seen, and it's like we're just gonna be here all fucking day.
Oh my god, okay, that reminds me. I gotta do a Takashi Miike tier list in my channel. That guy used to make like 6 movies a year.
6 movies a year.
Yeah, dude, that guy was insane. Look up his 2001. Oh my god,
Oh my
insanity.
God.
He did classics too. He did Itchy the Killer that year, Happiness of the Katakuri. I'm gonna do his tier list. All right, thank you for that idea. This was fun though.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yep. I want to thank DL and Perp for joining me for this very, very bloated tier list. This is way longer than Pearl Harbor.
Oh, wait till I have my Marvel Madness bracket.
Oh my lord.
Oh gosh.
Shows
Oh
included.
yeah, that's coming. That's coming. Yeah, shows included. Marvel Madness.
What about the Wachowskis? That'd be an easy one. The Wachowskis has.
That's going to be a 5-hour stream.
Yeah. Okay. I thought they had limited amount of movies.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Marvel Madness.
Oh, the Marvel.
Oh
Madness
yeah, no,
bracket.
that's 2 separate streams back to back.
You
2
that
days.
is a
You gotta
River
stop
Wind
it
Part
halfway,
1 and
bro.
Part 2 situation.
Yeah, that's a part 1, part 2.
It's gonna be
So-
tournament style. This show versus.
Oh,
this
you know
show,
what? You got to do
this
it in
movie versus
phases.
this movie. This
Oh.
movie versus this show. That's how it's. That's how it's going.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a nightmare. So
Phase 1.
I'm interested. I'm interested.
that's fun.
So yeah, let you know. I might do Snyder because I don't have any other ideas for TLS as of right now.
Luc Besson.
I don't watch that much Luc Besson. I've only seen Fifth Element and Lucy. And Valerian as well. I don't watch that much Luc Besson.
Not Leon. That's a classic. That's known as a
I
classic.
heard it's great, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a bunch of Luc Besson movies.
Gotcha.
But well, we'll see. I guess I'll do Snyder. We'll see. I don't know.
What about Paul W.S. Anderson?
Oh god.
the
The
Resident,
Resident
Evil, guy?
Yeah. Monster
Ah,
Hunter, Soldier, Event Horizon,
I don't know.
Mortal Kombat. That's a good one. You've seen all those, right?
I haven't seen a lot. I've only seen Alien vs Predator, Mortal Kombat,
Hell yeah.
and Death Race. I love Death Race.
Death Race is awesome. Yeah, that's a good
And
guy.
that's-
Okay. If you don't do
that's
it, I'll
it.
do it. If you don't do it, I'll do it. Or Nolan. Nolan's too easy.
You do it. Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
Nolan. Maybe
Nolan's a good
Nolan.
one. Nolan's a good one.
We'll see. I'll probably do Snyder just to get it out the way because everybody's want to freaking ask me to do it. I'm like, fine, I'll do Snyder so we can go through another argument to another argument.
You're using very like not, I don't want to say controversial, but polarizing directors by doing Michael Bay then Snyder back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least Michael Bay, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't evoke a lot of negative emotion.
Are you kidding me?
In terms of
I think what it
argument-
is that Michael Bay, everyone sort of agrees to like, oh yeah, he sucks, so they kind of leave him alone. Well, it's like some people just have a problem with.
Well,
people
no,
liking
I meant like
Snyder.
Michael Bay having like a weird fan base.
Yeah,
If you know what I'm making.
yeah, we're to ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
If you do a Shyamalan one, I can't be on it because I'm gonna. Because there's only gonna be one. There's gonna only be one movie that I'm gonna give a positive.
Shining.
So every
I
movie is
mean,
a wipe my
science.
ass quality. Every movie is a wipe my
It's not gonna get any higher than some of bullshit.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, guess
It's
stay him
gonna-
away from M Night. M Night doesn't deserve that.
M. Night Shyamalan. That's gonna be. You know what? That's gonna be interesting.
That's a good one.
So all of his movies are gonna be wipe my ass quality, and some old bullshit.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, you might. Actually,
That's insane.
I don't even know if what would be a rented. I don't know. Maybe one
Unbreakable?
rent. It might be one rent. No, I don't like that one.
Unbreakable? Oh my
No.
god.
No, probably Glass.
Old is a rental for me. It's just-
Old? Old is his craziest one.
Is there anything lower than Wipe My Ass?
yeah.
The dog's dead.
But-
It was only just alive.
Jesus. Ah. No, you can't be on that Shyamalan one. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm.
It was only just alive.
We'll see,
I
but
love that line.
anyway, so yeah, I guess the next one is Snyder, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you for tuning in on this stream, and we're literally at 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great,
I got something to listen to while I'm at work.
I'm gonna get
right,
going
awesome. Yep, and tune in.
next time.
Tune in next time for our next tier list stream or whatever review I got going. I might actually do Planet of the Apes. My next review of Planet of the Apes. I want to see Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. It looks fucking good. We'll see. We'll see what I'll do next. But until you tune in next time to the next tier list stream or whatever I do. See ya.
Bye.